Not turning nothing down, buddy.
Yeah, that's way
It's not
better.
bad.
That's way better.
They be loud.
Hell yeah, it's so high. My girl gets so mad.
You typically have on headphones though.
Nah, just anytime. Well, in the
shits
car,
are
in the
super
car,
loud
she'll
here.
be grabbing the dial, turn it down.
People be like,
All right.
why your headphones be going off in my office?
Ladies and gentlemen, Patronis, last time subscribers, first time subscribers, YouTubers, JBP gang.
Yeah, shout
We have a very, 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 very special guest here that I didn't know if I was gonna take here as a guest.
Damn. Why?
I be having smoke with this guy sometimes.
But Adam,
You fucking right.
you went on his pod.
So fuck that.
And he refused to answer any of the questions.
Now let's start there. Adam 22 is here, entrepreneur, network owner, porn star, BMX
racer.
something. He's doing something with bikes now.
Motorbiker.
He's gonna monetize you bike niggas. Adam, I caught a lot of flack, whatever the word is.
Both.
Both.
Could be both.
See, look at you, trying to be smart. Because I went on your platform and they say I didn't talk.
Diddy calling.
No, it's my brother. No. They say I didn't talk. They say I was dry. Didn't answer anything.
Answered questions with questions.
Oh, that's Joe.
That's Joe
That's
shit.
Joe, right?
Yeah, that's Joe.
You guys are all traumatized. You've been through it.
Yeah, probably so.
They say I gave you a bad interview. Did you think our interview was bad when I left?
No, I thought it was fun. I had a good time. And I also thought it was like kind of an interesting Joe Budden arc that it's like you were going through this whole thing with the other guys. And then all of a sudden there's this one appearance on my podcast in which you were like, yeah, it's fine. Because you had this little island of it seeming like it was okay there. And that's when that podcast occurred. So I found it to be kind of like a charming side novel.
No one else thought I was
They got
charming.
mad like Batman like serieses. I feel like that was like a cool one-off. You went to L.A., hung out with this white guy.
I thought it was cool, one, but two, yeah, I try not to say too much on you niggas' podcast.
But I don't expect anything else from you. Because I know this is kind of part of your character. You're difficult.
I'm not. Well, I don't think I am.
Wow,
Am I difficult? Don't ask my guys.
it's
They
part of your
didn't
charm,
invite me to their little
you know?
fucking function. If you think I'm difficult, I don't want you around.
Well,
Well, if some of y'all think I'm difficult. Well, that's not fair. Am I difficult with you, Parks?
Difficult.
Nobody's getting fired. No one's getting fired. Difficult. Think about it. Don't run with narratives. Let's have an honest talk with Adam. He's a guest here. He's in town for a few days.
the narratives are fun. Yes,
I think so too, but sometimes, hey, a joke
I
ain't a
feel
joke.
like you're difficult on other people's platforms. With me personally, not particularly difficult.
Antoine, I know you like to kick my back in, but am I difficult with you? I'm done with these niggas.
Yeah, you gotta ask somebody else.
Ice,
Damn, me?
Ice, am I difficult with you?
With me, no, you're not difficult.
Why is it so tough for y'all to
With me.
tell the fans the
With
truth
me.
about me personally?
How difficult is he right now compared to like 7 years ago?
Way less difficult.
Yeah.
Way less
As a
difficult.
listener, I would
yes.
agree, yeah.
Oh, damn.
I used to really feel for those other guys sometimes.
Why?
Way back in the day.
Why?
You just be difficult. But difficult can
I
be
don't know
fun.
if difficult is the right word.
A lot of video games are difficult. Getting some pussy, difficult.
Them shits ain't fun either. The video games, that's difficult.
Well, I do hear that a lot.
So you think that though whatever difficulties
Fucking
you
Elden
saw
Ring.
came across on screen?
Yeah, you were being difficult. You weren't
I don't
just
know if
letting it all
difficult is
hang
the
out,
word.
you know?
I think it's a different word.
I don't like
I
that
can't
word.
find the word,
I don't
but-
like that word.
You weren't just spreading it.
But we'll come back to it. Adam, I don't go on you other podcasters and networks platform to just spill it all out like men do. Like now podcasts have turned into like where men go to gossip.
Ply said it.
Yeah.
Or snitch.
Flies.
You
Flies.
did say that.
You podcasting on other niggas' networks for free. I don't want to hear about that. Fucking podcasting for Instagram for nothing. Like, do something. But y'all have made like this culture of monetizing off clickbait. Do you acknowledge that to be true?
Monetizing off clickbait, aka asking people questions that the fans actually want to hear about enough to the extent that they will click on those videos en masse.
Yeah.
You just answer
Sure.
the question.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, if that's
And you
clickbait,
just
sure.
answer the question with
Like
a
if
question.
I'm sitting down when I interviewed Andrew Schultz and I sent you the clip, I said, at the game, and I said I tried because I asked him about what's up with that diss song that you did about Joe. It never came out. I heard Joe talk about it on his podcast. I kind of laid it out for him.
You ask every guest about Joe Budden.
He didn't really take the bait too hard. You know, you could tell he didn't really want to like spark a whole anti-Joe Budden thing. But I thought it was fair because I'm a fan and I'm a listener. I would click on that clip because I want to know how that saga unfolded because I remember he had some Joe Budden bars. I'm a rap fan.
He's had a bar about every rapper or singer in existence. But somehow,
That's fair.
my name was the one that you would use to try to bait. And you do that often.
But because you came on here and did a fucking half-hour sermon in response to the Instagram clip that leaked that was him talking about your ex or whatever.
That was 3 years ago.
Yeah, I know, and I was still interested.
But you do that with quite a few people and myself. I don't know another name that you mention as freely as mine with your guests.
Well,
what do you say to that?
You would say you're top 5 hip-hop personalities, right?
No, I would not.
And I'm not 5.
I'm 1.
Okay.
I'm number 1.
Well, if you are number
there's not
1,
even a close number 2.
Okay. If
There's
you
not
are number 1...
don't step over that. There's not even a close number 2. So I do understand why it happens, but I be confused because you up already.
Right.
Your network is your network. It's not like you're building a platform. You've built it.
It's not like I'm asking them some shit that I'm not interested in. I'm asking them shit because you're someone that, to some extent, I consider a friend, a contemporary, a peer in this workplace, right? This space. Of course, I want to know about the intersection of artists and podcasters. It's interesting.
Of course, and my retort to that is, but you're a student of this.
This is true.
So it's not just me that you're watching. You are aware of everything and everybody. I know that to be true about you. So when you're conducting these interviews, why wouldn't the same apply for your other contemporaries? Any
I
of
ask
them?
about anyone.
Oh,
But
are y'all familiar with this
10
guy?
other
You just
rappers
answered
I
this
asked
question.
Game about on that piece of
because I'm
content.
number 1.
You just answered this
Because I'm
question.
number 1.
Not
Well,
just that.
I get it.
From
I
a
get
business
it.
perspective, if you're generating 300 million clicks a week, you motherfucking right. I'm gonna generate money off of you.
If
the opportunity
if
presents.
Game had a lyric where he said, "Oh, Akademiks is a piece of shit," I'm gonna say, "Hey, Game, why'd you say Akademiks is a piece of shit?"
But that's another name. That
Yeah, it's another person that I assume the audience is interested in, and people would.
Do
want
you
to know.
think you would be able to do what you do without that? Without the names?
I feel like
without the
I have
cattiness.
a duty to my audience to entertain them, and I want to give them the best, most entertaining content I can. And in a lot of cases, I feel like, in many cases, I want to tell the whole story of your life. I want to talk about what high school was like what it was like before you became a rapper, what it was like when you were in prison, etc.
But
I
nobody
want to
cares.
tell this whole fucking story. But then also, once I've got you softened up, I would also like to ask about every rapper that you have ever had beef with in your entire life, because I assume the fans want to hear about that shit. I want to hear a lot of times. It's like, it's not like it's not kayfabe.
and certain
real.
names is going to register higher on the clicks.
Yeah.
But why?
Yeah, I get that.
Well, he won't say that about mine. Is that true about mine?
That
Do you see some type of uptick?
We could search Joe Budden No Jumper. I'm sure we could find a bunch of clips where I asked people about you that did fairly well. It's not like, nobody is a guarantee.
I don't care about the result. I'm talking about the motive in it.
Right. But
Is
I'm not
the-
trying to create an anti-Joe Budden narrative. I'm just, trying to. This is like we're in the Marvel
think-
universe,
I
and we
think what- I
want to
think-
know what Spider-Man thinks of this fucking
I think
Silver
what Joe,
Surfer.
I think what Joe is saying is like, that asking these people about his name is going to generate a certain number of clicks,
Something.
regardless.
Generate something.
More than
More than a Nori.
The average.
More than
More
an
than-
Ack. More than an Elliot. More than a Tax. More than a. You know this. Don't play
We all
dumb
know
up
it.
here.
You're so excited to be near the top or at the top of this hierarchy. I'm more interested in Nori. Ha! I mean, okay, maybe, but I mean,
Don't put words in my mouth.
if Game had said, "Hey, Nori, you're a bitch," I would have said, "Hey, Game, why'd you say Nori's a
Don't
bitch?"
put words in my mouth. There was nothing about what I said that exuded excitement. I'm speaking facts. And I'm only asking you about facts. The fact is, I am number 1 and have been number 1 for a little while.
I think we got to wonder if Akademiks is number 1, though. I feel like he's probably number 1 if anybody's going to be number 1.
No one would cheer for him harder if that was true. I'm a huge Ack fan.
As mine.
I want everybody to. That's what I don't get about when there's this like kind of pod friction and tension and competition.
Wars,
it's like the truth of it is, I really want everybody to win. And if we get out of this kind of adversarial train of thought, then you realize nobody is really in competition with everybody. We're just all doing the same thing.
But what about all the bitch-ass podcasters that we don't like?
I don't have one of those.
You don't look at like certain people and you're like, wow, I hope you don't do well in this game because you're a fucking nerd and I think you're in it for the wrong reasons and I don't like your content. And
No. There's not a podcaster or content creator out there that I've looked at and felt that way about because I get information from everybody that does well.
Question for you. What are the wrong reasons?
Money, status, not really loving the craft.
Clicks.
Clicks, you know.
Clicks.
Depending on who you are, that's not the wrong reason.
I
I'm not mad at nobody.
That's the definition
that's
of business.
doing that.
That's the definition of opening any business for the most part.
But it's the same conversation we've been having about rappers forever, where it's like you could do the respectable content that your peers are going to love, or you can make some songs for the radio as well. I mean, I understand. If somebody wants to just get a bag, how can I really hate on you? But at the same time, you're kind of devaluing the art form that I believe that I was relatively early on, that you were early on, that we all believe in podcasting.
Yes.
But
Most
all
of
of
us.
you guys did clickbaity shit to grow your network to where it is.
But my thing is, I want to have like a really raw 2-hour conversation, and then yes, we're going to promote it by clipping a 3-minute clip where we talked about some random beef or whatever. But that's not really the heart of the content, you know.
Gotcha.
Sometimes it's the heart.
It's an inlet for people. Just gives them a little off ramp to see the full thing.
I also feel like this is why I can't hate anybody. I also feel like everyone is needed. Everyone is
does
needed.
different shit too. I was talking to I was talking to somebody.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say the name, but they're like, how does Joe feel about Nori doing well in podcasts? I'm like, they're completely different shows. The Joe Budden podcast and Drink Champs are completely different shows.
Yeah, you're barely even interview based, so that immediately puts you in a different category where you're not really competing in the same.
Well, and I'm not signed to anybody.
True.
That too. But I wasn't even talking about the business. I was talking about purely content.
It's always
It's a different show.
Yeah.
No.
Because sometimes Nori will get a guest, and I'll be like, "Fuck, I wish I got that guest." Or
Like who?
I got that guest 6 months ago. I'm glad I got him before.
Who didn't? Who? Give me some of the guests that you saw. I was like, fuck. Why wasn't he here?
Well, I mean, I really like my game interview, but he did a game interview like a month before mine. So obviously that's kind of like, I wish I got that first. But it's not like real jealousy. I'm just do I feel like I'm competing with somebody like Nori? I mean, yeah, a little bit. We're all competing for the overlapping fans, but it's not like I have any kind of animosity. Who are we competing for? What fans overlapping?
Well,
fans?
if there's 2 game interviews,
then the game,
competition.
then the fan is watching both.
I'm about to say they're gonna watch both.
Then they watching
Not
both.
always.
But what if you're not a game? Like I'm a sort of game fan, but I'm not gonna watch both yours and Nori's.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like if I saw Nori's, I've probably seen all he's got.
But if I watch, if I watch his show
That's me
anyway,
personally. I can only.
I might not watch Nori's.
Right.
Like I'm a fan of the show, and I know the style of your interviewing. I know
true,
people that
true.
don't necessarily like Nori's style of interviewing.
That's changing the fandom from game to Adam 22.
That's true.
But they both have to exist.
Yeah.
No doubt.
Like when he gets the second game interview, I want to catch all the game fans, which game should cover. But I want to catch the people that are fans of how I do this
No doubt.
Right.
Exactly,
with
yeah.
game. So you want to catch them both.
True.
No doubt.
So you're not in competition though.
Yeah, that don't.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
There's still a bit of
Adam is
competition.
needed, right? For so long, people were like, "Yo, New York controls all media. We need platforms on the West Coast and in the other parts of the world that represent some of our southern. We got Facts now. We got you.
Say
we got
Cheese.
like Say Cheese. We got niggas that's coming up, and I love it. Because, hey, let me learn about this West Coast shit that I didn't know nothing about. I wouldn't have talked to these niggas. They're not coming over here. Hey, these Southern niggas is going over the Facts. They spit freestyles. They giving it up. Like, we need everybody. Ak is going to talk to all the young niggas that I never want to talk to. Like, everybody has a role in the ecosystem.
Different lane for sure. Where are you from originally?
Nashville, New Hampshire.
Okay, so you're East Coast too. Kind of.
Yeah,
You're in
like-
LA. You're
right?
based in
Like
LA.
45 minutes outside of Boston.
Gotcha.
When'd you move out west?
I moved to Astoria in 2004 when I was 20 years old, something like that.
How old are you now?
38. So I stayed in New York, in Bushwick, and Astoria for like 7-8 years, and then I've been in Long Beach and LA and the Valley from like 2010 on.
It's a long time out there.
Yeah.
12 years. So how did you love it out there? Give me your story from the start of LA to where you at now.
Well, first I'm going to admit that the weather to me is a massive factor in terms of like my own contentment. I don't want to be around snow, so that was a huge factor. At the time I moved, it was basically because the BMX industry is in California as opposed to like almost non-existent in New York. So that was a big part of why I moved at the time, because that was my business at the time. And then
So in 2010, you were into the bikes.
2006, I started this BMX blog because I was super influenced by all the early hip hop blogs, and I was a BMX rider, obsessed with BMX videos and magazines my whole life. I saw Now Right and Two Dope Boys. I said, "Oh my god, I'm gonna do that," but about the bike shit. Boom! Like within a year, it was like huge. It basically became like the biggest platform in the space.
What was the name of that?
The Come Up.
The Come Up.
And I kept grinding that until at a certain point I'm starting to get bored. I'm like, I'm going to start doing podcasts with all these BMX riders and company owners and pros, whatever. I start doing that. I did like 100 episodes, and then along the way, I was living in downtown LA. I'm kind of like right at the epicenter of a lot of the underground SoundCloud rap shit that was going on. Like Playboy Carti stopping by the bike shop, you know, Ski Master, Slump God, all these guys were like kind of around and shit. And so then that's how I kind of started to get some of those interviews and stuff, even though myself, I've pretty much been listening to primarily rap since I was like 9 years old. But I was always just a fan. I never really felt like I had any kind of right. Like when I was looking at Now Right and all that in like 2005, I'm like, this is amazing. Maybe I should start my own hip hop blog. And then I'm like, I don't really think I have anything to offer aside from just being a fan. It's not like now with YouTube where anybody is just like, hey, I'm a fucking hip hop YouTuber now, you know? I didn't have that confidence. It took me like a long time to really be like, okay, I feel like I could actually deserve to interview a rapper, you know? So I kind of got my feet wet with that, and then started using those connections to start interviewing, you know, more adult rappers, legacy rappers, street rappers, whatever, like more.
And as you're doing that more, what's happening with the Come Up?
It just kind of stagnated at a certain point. Like the blog thing overall started to really fade by like 2014 or whatever, and the business part of it wasn't really that great, and I really lost passion for it. So it's kind of been on a hiatus. But like that's part of what we're doing out here, where I got my BMX team, is that we're kind of trying to
fast forward to now.
rejuvenate it.
You abandoned the bikers
because I still had the bike shop up until the pandemic.
All right, but now there's a newfound groove with some of these younger rappers that are coming by. They give me dope interviews. Hey, I can make a quick pivot here.
Yeah. Well, for me, I was doing both at the same time.
Or be inclusive.
I had people just running the BMX side of things for me. Yeah, but it started to like occur to me, because when you're in that BMX space, it's like it's a small world, and almost nobody ever gets to like pop their head out above ground. You know, like every once in a blue moon, you'll see some viral shit involving the bike riding shit, whatever. But it's very rare. All of a sudden, I started interviewing underground rappers who are doing like 10 times as many views, and all of a sudden, I'm starting to feel like, oh, I'm actually in the game. Oh, I actually had a conversation with Akademiks, or I had a conversation with Vlad. All these people that I was like watching their content, and I'm starting to actually get in the game. And that to me was like, and then all of a sudden, my life became posted up in the shop all day. Different rappers are coming in, different brands, different chicks, whatever. All of a sudden, I'm just meeting like nonstop people, and it just really kind of like, all of a sudden, I'm doing 3 or 4 interviews a day. And
now, what year is this?
2017 was when it really.
Were you a fan of the people that you were bringing in? Because you say you've been listening to rap since you were 9 years old.
A lot of times, but I also consider it like an important thing that I could be able to interview somebody who I don't really give a fuck about their music, and still be able to like honor and respect their work and everything like that, and be able to tell the story in an interesting way, you know?
Sure.
Yeah.
When was that we were trying to hire you? What year was that? 2018?
Probably.
2018.
State of the Culture featuring Adam 22. What an insane reality that was almost a simulation that was ran. Never would have worked.
I fought for that behind the scenes.
You said it wouldn't have worked?
No. I wouldn't want to move here. It would have just been a disaster hopping on the plane to come out here every fucking week or whatever.
You didn't have to move out here. You didn't have to move out here.
I just don't think I'm really ready to do anything besides just focusing on my own business. And even then, it was probably even more true.
No, I could see in 2018 you thinking about that move.
No, I thought about it.
The visibility, the associations, the affiliations. I could see you, and still the same thing you did with your Come Up. I could see you still wanting to run your company and leverage this. It's what Act did. I mean,
it was very.
It's not an off move.
It took a lot of thought at the time, but ultimately I was like, yeah, it's just not going to work. But you were also like larger than life to me at the time. Like the idea of saying no to you was like kind of crazy.
I don't own Revolt.
Huh?
She wasn't saying no to me. I don't own Revolt.
No, but I mean, just when I went to that penthouse hotel of yours and we smoked cigarettes on the balcony and talked about this
Had a
idea,
time.
and
We had a
he gave me
time.
game and led me in the right direction. Almost like a mentor. Not really.
Shut up, man. Shut up. So,
People
but
always
that- but
talking
that's
about their
20
mentors. I never had a mentor.
Did I
I
have
got some
a
people I
mentor?
can ask questions to, but that's about it.
I never had
Mentor
a
sounds
mentor.
like a lot. I heard Axe saying
Either.
like Charlamagne been like a mentor to him. I'm like, fuck. Should I have been asking all these people to mentor me over these years?
Well, you could see how Charlamagne would.
But sometimes shit do,
Would
you
be a
be,
mentor to
sometimes
Act.
people be a mentor, but without it
Acknowledging
being like,
it. Yeah, you
you're
just
a mentor.
become friends with them and text them and talk to
Yeah,
them.
you go out and have a drink.
So in
and-
that way, I
Or
guess.
from
yeah.
afar. Or from
Yeah.
afar.
So nobody put you under the wing and just tried to help you advance
Not really.
this entire time.
Not really. But I'm not that kind of person anyway. Like, I fucking meet rappers, I do content with them, and we could stay in touch a little bit, but I'm not like a groupie who's going to be trying to pull up to the studio. I see how a lot of these people in LA are cool because they fucking are dick riders who just will pull up to the studio on a moment's notice to just sit around with some rapper.
Happy to be here.
Who's barely giving you the fucking time of day because you're just a dick rider. I did that shit early on for sure. And I don't, I'm happy as fuck that I don't have to do that anymore because that shit is just,
That sounds disgusting.
it's awful.
All right, so 2017, we're getting in our groove. 2018, you telling me and Puff to fuck off.
Just you.
When does this see? It was Puff. When do you start to see an uptick in what you're doing?
2020, the pandemic hits. We had just moved into a fucking new space. We had just decided to get rid of the store, coincidentally, like immediately before the pandemic hit. And that's around the time that we brought in my guy AD from Compton. And all of a sudden, he brought a lot of new energy to the space, realistically. And he didn't have shit to do because it's the pandemic. All of a sudden, he's not going to the club or touring or do whatever the fuck else he was doing. And then he starts bringing more people around. All of a sudden, we started to hit more of like a crew dynamic amongst the team and everything. And that's when I felt like it really started to take steps for it to start to feel like, oh, this is a bunch of guys who have a real actual friendship and they're talking about everything that's going on. Because to be real, when I started my weekly podcast, the No Jumper Show, every Tuesday at 6 p.m., it was 100% like, I see what Joe Budden's doing and I want that. I want to not have to always worry about getting guests. I want to be able to just have some friends that were consistently building rapport.
It's tough, though, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's definitely tough, and a lot comes with it. But,
Have you lost anybody along the way?
Oh, of course, yeah.
Tell us about it.
Randoms, you know.
No. No, sir.
Not getting off that easy, buddy.
That's not what Adam would do to Joe Budden if I were on the No Jumper platform right this second. Come on, give me something.
Nah, but I can't think of anybody that you would even fucking.
I don't want to know him. I just want to hear about you dealing with loss as you're growing
How
your
close
company.
were you?
In terms of like employees that I eventually like had to let go. I mean, everybody, all your friends from early on, you're gonna have to fucking, and not all, but it's like it's very difficult
Oh,
for
so
people
you do
to grow
understand.
with you. It's very difficult for people to grow with you and just accept that this benefits you to an extent that it doesn't benefit them, even if it is benefiting them as well.
Well, how do you deal with that?
I mean, sometimes you just gotta
Keep it
sorta
pushing.
cut off the bullshit and just be like, all right, if that's how you feel, then I'm not fucking with you anymore. And what are you gonna do? Or,
So in your case, did it affect your personal relationship as well as the business?
for sure, I lost countless friends that I just tried to hire, and I thought that they were gonna be able to, be part of it. And then at a certain point, that it's almost like I wish I had never hired any of my friends. But then I'm sure that would have negatively impacted my friendships as well. Mm-hmm. Why are you hiring this guy off Craigslist that you never, like you could hire me to do this job? I'm sure it would have ultimately negatively impacted a lot of shit regardless if I had just fully not fucked with friends. But I mean, that's a huge decision when you get into business. And you don't realize it's a huge decision until it's too late.
So it's all a rather recent thing, the upswing, the uptick, and how you decided to grow your shit. When did porn come into play?
Early pandemic again. Like me and my girl have been going back and
Pandemic
forth.
came and you just threw it all at the wall.
I
lot of
just used
people
that
did.
as like a
lot of
time
people
when
are
things
taking
started
hold.
to unfold. No, me and my girl had talked about doing a podcast or doing some kind of like premium sexual podcast. We were talking to some company that wanted to do it with us. They were going to take 30%, 40%, whatever. At a certain point, I'm like, we don't need them. Let's just do it ourselves. We'll put it on OnlyFans. The idea is that we interview a different girl every week, and then we have sex with her on camera, all kind of cohesive thing.
Sounds cohesive.
Onlyplugtalk.com,
sounds fun.
$5 a month if you want to check out our catalog. We just
You got a catalog of fucking
I think we got like 40 episodes out or some shit at
A
this
Said
point.
fucking-
one a week.
Yeah, one a week.
He said one a week.
That's a lot of fucking he's doing.
52 weeks in a year.
I've had weeks
Where
where
you
I
at?
filmed
Only
5,
Club?
6 scenes.
Onlyclub.com. Where's
In a
that?
couple days. Onlyplugtalk.com.
I might have to go check and see what's going on. This nigga might be like the White Safari.
I'm having a good time, man. Nah, he got a thing on him. I don't know if I can compete with that.
He got a thing on him. So at this point now, it's pandemic time. We got our biker shit in the tuck, even if it's not all the way up and active, it's in the tuck. We've started our media journey, and we're trying to expand that. And we're having a conversation with our wife. We're throwing
It's your
porn
wife?
into the mix.
Or just
Fiance.
Fiance.
At this time.
Fiance,
Congratulations.
Working
Yeah,
on
they're
the
married now,
Thank you,
right?
thank you. We're planning it, yeah.
It's a long time, man.
It's been a while. She just went and looked at a wedding venue that she considered perfect the other day, and they quoted us at a number that was
imperfect.
jaw-dropping.
Imperfect.
Yes.
Not perfect.
Imperfect.
It's just shocking, beyond anything I thought was possible.
Well, you asked me to fuck this bitch 40 times on camera.
She wasn't enthusiastic about it either. She was equally upset.
Oh, about the venue.
Yeah, well,
The
just
price.
about the price was so mind-blowing, but
Give it to her. What was the number?
no, 6 figures.
High
For
six
just the venue. No, not it was not $900,000, but it was
375?
Over
no,
two?
no, it was, 6 figures that begins with 1.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
175.
1 something.
Dog.
It's not bad. You better jump on it.
If you
You
gotta
think
give
that's chill?
somebody
You better jump on it.
140 for the day,
You better jump
I
on
think
it.
it's a weekend.
In LA?
So,
You better.
oh, for 3 days.
It's not like
call him down.
A weekend.
Yes.
2 days.
Shit. Yes.
You think 100 grand is normal?
Normal.
You've been married
No,
like
no, no,
4
no,
times.
not normal.
I don't know.
Yo, but they're providing.
Adam, it's also going to cost you. You might want to figure roughly double that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
All
they're
the shit that
providing
comes
food
with it.
and all the other shit that comes
I'm
with
married, so I just went through this last year.
Damn. Park spent 100 grand on his wedding. 200 grand on his wedding. Look, he's staring at me. He's not even letting on that he's
it.
kidding.
And he's not in
No,
LA.
he just.
He ain't kidding.
No.
It wasn't
His wedding was different. Yeah.
Really?
And he's not in LA, though.
You're gonna
I
have
went
to spend,
upstate.
buddy.
I
And
went
his
to
shit
the
was
middle of
upstate New
nowhere.
York.
I went to the middle of nowhere.
We had that conversation like, oh, so we could put a down payment on another house.
Facts.
Or we could
had
have
that
a cool
conversation,
wedding.
too. That's a conversation that comes up.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound right.
But if you go somewhere outside of, you can
Not
take a
feeling
trip.
that shit at all, yo.
Take a trip a couple hours away.
that shit.
You can take a trip a couple hours away and get it done for probably
Yeah.
a quarter of the price.
Are you frugal?
Yes.
Fucking white boys.
Quick, too.
Cheap as fuck.
White
Yeah.
boys are frugal
Yeah.
by nature.
I don't even own a car. Ack was giving me shit about that on his show the other day.
But you got a bike.
I got a bike. I almost rode it here. Seeing the
Why
size
don't
of the
you-
space, you would have probably been mad if I had to bring my bike in.
Why don't you have a car? No, it would have been left outside
I
stolen.
leased a BMW.
Stolen outside.
Yeah, exactly. Bring a U-Lock.
So you do have a car. You lease a BMW.
Well, I lease it, but Ack's like apparently got like 10 cars parked in his fucking garage.
Ack is stupid.
I'm like,
He's not stupid, but that's his thing.
he's into it, I guess.
I wouldn't have 10 cars parked in the lot.
I don't. Yeah. Well, you can pay insurance on all of them.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's a lot.
Especially
I don't
in
see.
the
I
gym.
don't see the logic.
If I had 10 cars, I'll probably drive like 1 or 2 in a month, right? Like, I
There's no
would
logic.
have a hard time. What am I gonna take a different one out every
I don't
day?
drive my one car lot. I
don't drive my one car.
2,500 miles.
You've been rich for a long time.
Not that long. It's been a little while now.
You've been like on and off rich for a long time, probably.
No.
I assume.
No.
The whole time you've been rich.
No.
No.
I just recently got rich the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, 5 years.
Okay.
Let me not get audited. How long you been rich?
In my mind, like,
I did.
Yo,
dog. Don't bring your little fucking media tricks up here.
What's
I didn't ask you about your mind. Get him, Ish. Come on.
since the pandemic.
You see,
Okay.
What's rich, though?
now we getting there. I'm
I'm just
mean,
asking.
I don't even know.
No, what's the threshold? In
No,
your,
we asking what you would ask on your platform. Come on. What's rich?
To me, I felt
your taxes.
I felt
What'd you do?
rich as soon as I owned a home, could say I was a millionaire, and didn't have to worry about money anymore. Then I felt like, okay, I'm rich now, because I don't really want for much besides that.
Now, how do you navigate you being a millionaire and maybe not everyone on your team being a millionaire?
I mean, the guy who starts the show is going to have to disproportionately benefit from it, right? Yeah. I want them to live well. I want to build the business to the extent where everybody can be comfortable and shit. But at the end of the day, this is how capitalism works. The CEO, the owner gets to benefit more because he's the one who took the risk. If my whole thing sinks tomorrow, the guys that I just came in with, they get to go skedaddle and do whatever they want. And I got to fucking deal with the repercussions, right?
You think that's an issue for you?
What?
Like, if you're a millionaire and nobody else on your team is.
At what point? At what mark?
It's a good point.
How many millions?
So, no, it's like, if somebody's been down.
You and I had this talk. I can't come in here with 200 million and y'all not be a million.
Yeah.
I can't come in here with 100 million and y'all not be a million up. And if I did, I would expect to have a conversation with y'all that for me is uncomfortable at some point. And that's what I was asking him. Not about capitalism. It's taught me what that word means now. I was asking about the conversations or the awkward moment now or the team looking at you funny now or speaking to you in a way that they didn't used to speak to you. I'm asking for some of those things. Nothing really wrong with this mark. Hey, I'm up. I came up with this. I created this. This is my IP. Nothing wrong with that. But how are you navigating that is what I'm asking. And is it different for a white person than it is for a black person? That's why I'm asking.
Well, I've never been black, so I'm not sure. But
well, that's why I'm asking, because
right.
I'll let them know.
I have them they'll fuck with me a little bit, give me a hard time about having, whatever I got, and we joke around about it. But I mean, at the end of the day, I was building this business for like 5 years before any of the hosts who are on the channel right now really came on and did their thing. And, I respect what they brought to the platform and everything, but
Not giving y'all shit.
I built a huge amount of this business before anybody came around. So the idea of anybody getting ownership or whatever, if they want to have that conversation, I'm perfectly happy to talk about anybody's compensation. And if somebody feels like they're not being compensated fairly, we could always have that conversation. But at the end of the day, in terms of equity, I mean, I just was building it for way too long beforehand for anybody to try to demand a piece of it. And they all get that.
Or somebody has to just, in my opinion, I can't speak for you, but just on a business side, somebody has to bring a certain value. So if when you walked in the door, the company was worth $100 million, right?
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden you've been here 2 years and we had $140, $150. You bring a nice value. So then you would be able to say, yo, look, what's up? If you don't do that, I don't think equity, because we hear Joe, we hear all these people now talking about equity. It's like a buzzword.
Yeah.
Fam, people don't understand what that entails.
They don't know what ownership really means.
Like, dog, this shit,
Just
took
sound good.
15 years to build this.
Just sound good.
And because you kind of dope at what you do, you think you could get a piece of what I'm doing. You have to show me definitively how you think you earn a piece of that.
But I want to ask about that too. The audience's understanding of podcasting, what it is and how it's done versus yours, the person who's trying to build his network, expand his network, hire people, manage personalities. Like, how does that go?
How is it having to balance all these different people?
No, the difference in your understanding of what you have to do versus the people that you serve, the audience.
I feel like I'm pretty open with people who like consistently watch the podcast. I kind of feel like they know pretty much what I'm going through and what I'm dealing with and what the challenges are in terms of running this business. So, I mean, I try to that's content to me, is just dealing with the reality. Now, of course, there's stuff that you deal with on the back end in terms of, people trying to sue you and other shit that you don't want to publicize. But, I mean, for the most part, I pretty much just share the journey with everybody.
They ain't gonna get it.
They don't understand.
Yeah, they're not gonna understand.
They still won't understand.
You talking about like
These people, a lot of these people never owned a thing.
Yeah.
Like never created a thing, took it from thought to.
And that's why they throw the
existing
equity.
or something.
That's why they throw the equity word around. They I would never think I am entitled to equity in the Joe Budden podcast.
Right.
That makes no sense to me, though.
Anybody can negotiate any way they want. Somebody is free if they want to come to me. If I go to somebody and I say, hey, I want to pay you X amount of dollars a year to do podcasts on the Jumper platform, they are free to say, I'll do it if you give me 1% of the company, 2% of the company. I'm almost certainly going to say no unless there's some deity that is going to bring a huge amount of value to the company. But that conversation is a fair conversation. What is stupid and a waste of time is people saying, I worked here for 10 years. I should own a part of it. It's like, if you want to have that conversation, you should have had that conversation earlier. Nobody gets to just demand some new thing towards the end of their journey. That's crazy.
That's because they don't understand.
Children
When people come to me all the time, oh, you're gonna ask for equity of the Joe Budden podcast,
Right.
and I'm like,
Never.
dude, you've been working at wherever.
You work.
You work at McDonald's, dropping no shot.
you
But
don't take it to McDonald's. You work at J.P. Morgan, and they pay you $257,000 a year, but your CEO makes $40 million. Did you go in there and demand 1% of J.P. Morgan stock?
Exactly.
No, sit your dumb ass down.
But podcasting is so close to just a bunch of friends sitting around talking that people feel like it should be
It's not.
compensated.
It's not.
It's not.
Well, when they look at it,
that's
what
an
they say.
illusion.
It looks
That
like.
goes
That's
to what I
an
said. They
illusion.
don't
That is a myth.
understand.
That
They
is
just
true.
don't understand. People just be saying shit.
And that's why you see podcasts popping up everywhere.
By
Because
people that
they
have nothing to say.
or people that make it look easier, make it look like, yo, these
Yeah.
just my niggas in here kicking it at the barbershop, and it's not that.
They know nothing about the inner workings of a podcast.
It's not that.
Like I personally, Joe, this was what 2016, 2017, told me start a podcast. Like, yo, start your own podcast. You know, this is what you do. I started one. I think we did maybe 8 episodes over a course of 3 months.
Down 7, 8.
Something like that. When I realized how much it actually took, mind you, there's no money coming in. So even finding where to record at, you know, getting the episodes uploaded, paying for the artwork, didn't get all of this stuff done. I'm like, wait, I'm doing all this for what?
Find an editor you like.
Yeah.
Find 5,
Yeah.
6, 7 more of them.
Yeah.
in any
Yeah.
business, dog.
So you start to
Yes.
once you start something and realize that, yo, as the owner, it's shit involved that you never knew until you are the owner.
And that's the financial piece. You're not talking about you spending nights up racking. I'm sure the two of you spent nights. Literally, you could barely sleep, you could barely eat, and you trying to figure this thing out and still maintain a level of profitability. You know what I mean? Because you're still a grown up at the end of the day. You're not 17 living at home with your mom.
Fam, this is before there is profitability.
That's what I'm saying.
It don't even get to that point yet.
And that's my point.
And the second
how to
you
make
get-
it profitable.
And the second you get there is every bill in the world is going to fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
Every bill in the world.
I remember, Joe, you called me one day asking me about the internet shit. I mean, about the data shit. You was like, yo, is this normal? I don't know if you remember. It was some crazy number. Yeah.
You ain't got to tell me.
You don't realize,
when you get
start
big
to-
enough,
yeah.
you have to pay for the size of your audience.
Yep.
If you have 1 million people listening, where are they listening to this at? And can they sustain that? That is a bill. A lot of people they skip that. They don't know nothing about that. Because you didn't get big enough to where this is a bill now.
to know that.
6 figures. Yeah.
To have somebody listen to me.
Yeah. No,
No, just to host it somewhere. Just so that they can
That's what I'm
just so
saying.
that it lives
So
somewhere
from a-
that they can
from a-
listen to it.
From a business perspective, I just think that we throw around the equity shit. Plus, we listening to hip hop and how people be getting jerked all the time, and you know what I mean. Like you don't own. So people that don't really have any business acumen, they throw these words around so effortlessly that you know what I mean, without even knowing what they mean. Or if you never owned a business in your life, you've always been a worker.
What I liked about your spot when I went there,
We got a new spot now.
we all at? How far from the old spot?
Similar area.
Bigger?
Yeah, way bigger.
More rooms, more space? What you doing? What was you thinking?
3 different
Because
studios.
in your last spot, let me
Yeah.
finish this and toss to you. In your last spot, that is what I was impressed with. I walked in, I seen you have your Snapchat desk over here with your little thingamajiggy. In this corner, we got our gate. Over here, we're taping this. And all right, we're going to multi-purpose this shit. This is for here, this is for here. I'll sit here, it's this show, it's this show, it's this show. So we get it from everywhere. So now you're in a bigger space, so you're able to do this properly now.
Yeah.
No, nigga, speak to the space.
Yeah, so we got 3 different studios. So my traditionally...
Like act.
Does he have 3? He had 2 when I was there last time.
He got another spot.
Okay, yeah, but 3 studios in the same building so that we could record 3 pieces of content at the same time so we could have a live stream going while I'm doing interviews, while whatever is happening, all this shit. We got a ton more room for the employees. They've been, sitting in this fucking fly-infested, windowless pit.
How many employees?
I guess like 10, 12 maybe. And so it's going to be a lot better for them, a lot more like outdoors areas, room for us to just fuck around. We're getting one of them fucking basketball pop shot machines, which when I went to DJ Drama's studio, I saw the way that just made everybody just melt and turn into little kids. I'm like,
Yes,
we got
it's
enough
true.
room that we're going to be able
Yes.
to put a bunch of fun shit. So because that's what you want when you have a guest on. You kind of want them to
Loosen up.
open up, become a little bit more childlike. So I feel like just having all this. Even we have like a Street Fighter machine, and I see the famous rappers will just start playing against each other, going crazy. Yeah.
Everybody
So
think they nice in Street Fighter.
that's really the
I'm
kind of
king.
goal, is just to build it out, make it more of a
ain't
big
nice.
fun house where people just feel like this is really a place you want to be. We're doing a lot of graffiti and art all over the walls and shit, so it'll really just want to make it a fun place where people want to go so they can record music while they're here and stuff.
How long you been in there?
They're literally like moving all of our podcast setup there today, so that's like the final step, and they're gonna be moving it all weekend,
Got it.
and I'm out here fucking off.
Yeah, like the boss supposed to be. Like the boss supposed to be.
Not supposed to go.
Supposed to, yeah.
I got some smoke for you.
Woo!
Rest in peace to the Godfather, Kevin Samuels.
Rest in peace.
I don't like what you did after he died.
What?
It's disgusting.
What? Re-uploading the parts of
Disgusting.
the interview?
Disgusting.
What'd he do?
The nastiest performance I've ever seen.
What?
Why do y'all do that?
It's an insane position for somebody in media to hold.
Please.
What is your job as a content creator? Your job is to make content and get that content out to the people who want to see it.
False.
Somebody dies, there is a huge demand for that content. You re-upload it. People see it on their subscription feed. They click on it because this is a very talked about thing. People are
Nasty.
literally mourning
I can't
him.
even listen to this.
What is the part?
That is disgusting.
Give me a coherent argument against re-uploading content when that person is extremely newsworthy.
Take it away,
I
please.
gotta ask him.
Yeah.
Was the content in a negative
No.
connotation
not
or
at all.
no?
No.
What was your take on it?
No, I won't say.
That does
I
sound
won't,
nasty.
I won't say.
I can
it.
see that.
Nah, that's what I was asking. I wanted to clarify because I didn't.
Nah,
see
he didn't slander his name.
of course
He just re-uploaded everything in the world that he had on Kevin Samuels in the moment that he died.
We had never even done clips from that interview, so I think we clipped a bunch.
Until
of
you
different
found a good
clips.
time to do it. That sounds
you,
disgusting
you
to me.
Had a Kevin you had a Kevin Samuels interview.
We had already done it. We didn't do clips at that time. We started a clips channel after that. We went hard with the clips from that interview after he passed. We had never done the clips before.
How soon after he passed?
I don't know.
Shit,
the next
an
day.
hour.
Yeah. The next
1
day,
hour.
probably. Yeah.
It was nasty, Adam.
What
What
is- is the nasty part
hold
about it?
yourself
The nastiness is you are trying to capitalize off of somebody else's demise before his family even had an opportunity to.
How am I trying to capitalize on it? I want the people who are sad about his passing to have the content that they want to see.
Then
served
turn
up
off.
to them.
Then turn off monetization.
Hey, come
If
on,
you turn up
bro.
monetization, you're going to stop it from spreading on the platform.
Stop
Nobody's going
it,
to see
Adam.
it. You
Adam,
know it's
Adam,
true.
stop
You're a
it.
YouTuber.
Adam,
you know
stop it, yo.
Every YouTuber out there knows I'm telling the truth.
Is that why you did that?
Stop. You.
Because I thought that people, the whole thing with making this content. If I do a Joe
I'm
Budden
going to
interview,
market this off.
Is
of this.
it nice that I made a bunch of money off
Say what you're
interviewing you?
saying the right way, because I'm going to upload this.
Is it nice? Good. Is it nice that I made? Did I interview you for money? No, but I made, let's say, $10,000 off of AdSense when I interviewed you. Did I interview you for money? No.
I'm not
Is
dead.
the $10,000 very nice?
But
I'm not dead.
It's different when
I'm not dead.
Oh shit, he passed.
Stop it, Adam. I'm not dead.
How does the death change that?
A big.
Because had he not passed, you wouldn't have uploaded that like that.
Had there not been a giant swell of interest in this guy because he passed, then I wouldn't have uploaded. But
Yeah, you
because
just answered your question.
I would have
Yeah.
uploaded those clips either way. Yes, but the interest,
Then why
the
you didn't?
fact that the audience wants to see it is the reason to upload it.
No,
Do
the
I make
audience
money?
are searching. The
Do I
audience
make
is searching
money?
his
Sure.
name, and it's like, you know what? If they're gonna search his name, let me attach to that.
That's
They're not
exactly,
necessarily
yes.
going to look for.
But
Let me go
they're
see what
searching
clips
his
are
name.
out there.
The fact that they're
He's
searching
trending.
his name
His name is
why
trending,
it's
and let me attach
logical
to it.
do it.
His name is trending. Let me attach to it.
Yes, let
So
me
that's
give
what
the fans
that's
what they
saying
want.
something different.
No, that's why
That's
it's
saying something totally
illogical to do
Why,
it.
when someone dies, do we act like people only make content to make money? It's not true. I want it to entertain the audience.
You
I wanna
had the
show them
content
something
already.
meaningful.
You had the content
That's why.
already.
Right.
That's
yeah.
why. That's
We
the
hadn't
difference.
got around to uploading it, and then he passed. I'm like, fuck, we got to upload it.
Of course.
And that's what we're saying to you.
Yeah.
That is what we're saying to you.
I don't think it's sinister. I don't see what's wrong with it.
How do you not? I don't know
I
how.
don't get it. It hasn't been explained
There's
well
a
enough.
difference between sinister and something in between. There's something between sinister and innocent.
That's fair.
That exists.
That's true.
There's being a capitalist, which is
Yeah.
obviously a factor. Sure.
Right.
Yeah, we're going to make money off
That
it.
is capitalism.
But even if it's...
Yo,
like, what am I
pull
gonna
up the
make?
definition for sinister so I make sure I know what I'm saying. Because they get me with that a lot.
Let's
I want
say
to be
we got
clear.
1 million extra views from re-uploading all those kind of Samuels clips.
Sinister. giving the impression that something harmful or evil is happening or will happen. That was sinister.
You think it's evil to make people watch more YouTube content?
I think it is. I'm only giving my opinion. I'm not asking y'all's opinion. My opinion is, like Ish said, before family members and loved ones get to put their loved one in the ground or have the important conversations with everybody in the family that loved this man, now every time we look at our phone, we have to see the likes of you, the likes of Vlad, the niggas that partake in that nasty side of the business, which is where it's only about metrics and monetization, and your moral compass is totally eliminated from this. That's what makes this nasty.
Are you ready? Are you ready for the kill shot?
To me, no, nasty. I'm not ready.
You're ready for the kill shot?
No, I'm not ready. It said to me, damn, yo, when this important person dies, these are the figureheads. Some would call gatekeepers.
Here, I have a very important question.
You can't talk and listen.
When Pop Smoke died, what did the radio stations do?
I have no idea.
They played his music.
I don't make it right.
I don't listen to the radio.
He died. We got to celebrate this motherfucker. We got to listen to the music that we all love that he made while he was alive. Playing his music is a celebration of his life.
I'm gonna tell you why that's different.
Watching a Kevin Samuels interview is a celebration of who this man was.
Different.
Pop Smoke's
Let me tell you why it's not a good.
I don't understand how y'all can't see that.
I can answer you. Pop Smoke, his music was already in rotation.
Always play it.
It's already in rotation.
They didn't go dig it up out of a crate in a backyard somewhere and say because he died, we're playing it.
Already up. We just cut some clips from the interview and
re-uploaded it for 2 fucking weeks, Adam.
It's the same as us playing his record on the radio.
No, it's not.
It is.
Time out, hold up.
Kevin Samuels' thing was his personality. The interview itself was up. We cut I don't know however many, maybe 5
more
to
than
10 minute clips.
It's more than 5 clips.
We haven't done that. We haven't
How many
put the clips
did you
That's
clip?
different. I
I
didn't know
have
that.
absolutely no recollection.
Well, it's your company. You like to fall back on that a lot.
3, 4, 5.
How many? Not 3 or 4. Find a way to get a definite number. It wasn't 3
Search Kevin
and it wasn't
Samuels
4.
No Jumper. Let's see what
I didn't know that.
It wasn't 3 and
To
it
his
wasn't 4. I don't need to search shit. It wasn't 3 or 4.
It's a little distasteful to me, but it's not nasty or
No.
something.
That's disgusting.
In his defense, I didn't know that he already aired his interview.
Kevin
I thought
Samuels
they had the interview in the tuck, and then when he died,
it was out.
Scroll back up to the top so we can see how far apart it is. Kevin Samuels interview 1 year ago, and then look at the clips are from 3 months ago when he passed.
1.
We hadn't uploaded these clips yet.
3.
We got 3.
4.
No, that's not us. Just 3. That one's old. So 3 clips. 3 clips that all did a couple 100,000 views at least each because people in that moment wanted to talk about Kevin Samuels and wanted to, cherish what he was to the community while he was out.
About 4.
We found 3 for the record. 3 right there. You can see all of them right there.
Kevin Samuels on interracial relationships.
1.
Yeah, read
Stop
the
right there. Stop right there.
Yeah, because that's important.
Let's take one at a time.
That is important. The headline is important.
You don't see how at the time of a man's death, you can take something controversial from them and post it and have people feeling or looking at this in a light other than, hey, this man died. Let's honor him and respect him.
A very easy way to remedy this would have been rest in peace, Kevin Samuels.
Tell me that you are lacking the humanness to where you don't see what I'm saying.
Kevin Samuels dedicated his life to spreading his message.
You don't know. Wait, stop. That's more bullshit.
So you always challenge things that are so evident. His whole career was sitting on stream and making these videos and spreading his message to people. How could I possibly be faulted for spreading his message further after he passed, knowing that this is the time when people are really going to want to consume this information?
The arrogance of you. You have known of Kevin Samuels for how many years?
Let's say
you can't surmise shit about
Kevin
Samuels. Who the fuck are you to know somebody for 2 years and think that you could say what their whole life was dedicated to?
That's self-evident.
But his life,
no, it's not.
His mission was to make content and spread his views to the world.
You don't know that. You don't know that.
That's all you don't know that.
You are lacking accountability.
You saw him do it for 2 years. You saw him do it for 2 years. How old was he?
How old was he? Saying what his life was dedicated.
If he had some other mission, he didn't express it to me during the interview. In the interview, he told me, this is what I'm doing. I think it's important. I think that I'm having an important impact on specifically black people's relationships. That was what was important to him.
So say that though. You said his life was based on something else. You didn't say that.
Making content about the things that he believes in, and interracial relationships were definitely something that he felt strongly about. And I don't think there's anything wrong with further spreading his words after he passed.
Not at all.
I actually think it's more important.
I didn't know that the interview had already been released.
Right.
That changes things for my opinion.
For sure.
However, now in seeing how you guys worded the clips, this is clickbaity. This is absolutely 1,000% clickbaity.
When I hear clickbait, I hear good titling. Like titling a video so people will actually watch it.
True. Now, but you are playing on the fact that he was the disdain for him might have been bigger than the positive popularity for him. Would you agree?
I think that there's more people who loved him than people who hated him.
I disagree.
No way.
Especially in the public.
He got a lot of hate, but
A ton.
No way.
he got a big ass.
The hate is
fan base.
the hate is what took him to the next level.
His fan base was based on haters, though.
I think
Yes.
he got 80% love and 20% hate as a
No
result.
way. No way.
Never.
No
Not
way.
even
Hitler,
close.
dude. He
Not
wasn't-
even close.
No, not even close.
Not
But
even
you
close.
know what? He could say that coming from a white male's
Maybe
perspective.
I was really kind of tuned out to the
Yes.
And he-
the
no,
negativity.
no,
It's probably true.
Yo, he's coming from a white male's perspective, so he can potentially say that.
I know almost nobody who doesn't like the guy. You know, everybody I know
exact
thought he was
opposite.
great.
It is the exact
It's the exact opposite.
in real life. It is the
Yeah.
exact opposite.
Like you say, even prior to you say his name, and it was like
time out. No, and you did an interview with him a year ago.
Right. You guys
did-
hang out with woke people. I don't
No,
know
no.
what they
no,
think.
no.
This is your job, though. Your job is to create content and keep your ear to the ground.
Right.
So I know when you put your interview with him out a year ago, you read the comments or no?
Yeah, of course.
He had some hate comments, a ton of them.
Some, but
A lot. Nah, he had a
Come
quite-
on,
Most
Adam.
people. Well, I wouldn't say most people.
Come on.
you guys know about Andrew Tate? Yeah. He just got banned off Facebook and Instagram, but he's like a much more extreme Kevin Samuels. You know, he's saying a lot more offensive shit. And,
What's his platform?
And I still,
You know
he's primarily, I think, streams on, what is it, YouTube?
No, I mean, what's his
Yo,
a little bit of misogyny in there, you know.
misogynist?
I mean, he's a younger version. I don't even want to talk about him. to
I
be
think he's
honest
way more extreme than Kevin, so I don't want to put them in the
Yeah,
same
I don't
bucket. But I do feel like Andrew Tate gets a ton of hate, but it's still probably like 80%.
Kevin Samuels on women preferring hustlers to working
that is
men.
disgusting labeling.
Why?
You don't see where
literally what
you
he
are
said.
disgusting it, but he
doesn't
died.
matter. He died.
I know
Just
what he
died.
said.
Just died.
I know what he said, but he just died.
Right.
So now who the fuck are you to come and highlight the controversial things that this man said? Because you were familiar with him for fucking 2 years. This
You
nigga
think
was
that's controversial?
This nigga was
Women
50
preferring
years old,
hustlers
yo.
to working men?
Yes.
Adam.
What is the
No,
controversial
stop it.
part about it? I thought it was a good title.
Adam.
You know what?
This is
I'm
your
about to
fucking
give him-
line of work, yo.
I'm about to give him some passes.
I ain't. I'm on his ass with a whole nother thing.
Look.
This ain't the only person he
Hold
did
on.
this with.
No.
I don't think you've really like convinced me at all that I did anything wrong.
I wasn't trying to convince you. I'm not trying to convince you.
But no, if you're sitting here saying that you think Kevin Samuels' hate to love ratio was 20/80, either you are, which
Tone deaf.
I don't know you to be a liar, right? So I can't
you
say
would
that
have
you're
to be
lying.
completely
Or you are
stupid
just
to
totally
say that.
disillusioned.
I've never met
Or you are playing
I've never met
oblivious.
anybody who had the I hate Kevin Samuels conversation with me. I've seen it unfolding online, but
So then you've seen it.
I don't know people.
You've seen it in excess, not
I've
just
seen
some.
a good amount of it, but not like some.
Which
crazy
means,
amount.
and you had an interview with him a year ago.
Right.
I'm sure it was tons and tons and tons of hate.
No, I got no blowback.
Not for you.
No, we talking
in
about
the
just
messaging.
in the
you said
comments.
you read the messages
We
in the
talking about
comments.
just not necessarily blowback on
Hey,
you.
click on the comments
Just
to
the
any
comments.
one of those.
Black women were
Since
rejoicing when
he's
he
never
died.
seen
Yeah.
any of that.
They know they still
You guys
are.
are underestimating
Be clear,
the
they still are.
formidable no jumper audience that does not get offended by anything because they're all real
That's
deal men
That might
who
be
are
true.
not scared of the truth.
No, he might be right.
And I don't
So
agree
what I'm
with him
saying
about
from
everything, but-
from a demographic standpoint, black women were rejoicing when he died.
Look at these comments. These are all positive comments. These are all people who were really feeling the message that he had.
This is after he passed.
Yes, and these are people who
Go to
loved him,
Win-
who went to
Go
this
to Win
video and
interview
were
first.
able to spend time relishing. I'll give you an example. I was just at my uncle's funeral. He died. He was like 80 something. They're playing videos from his life, you know, different
Go to the
things that he
actual
had been involved with, different speeches he had given. What's going on in the room? Everybody, people are drying their eyes because they're remembering what a fucking great guy this was and how amazing what he did during his life was. How is that any different than me re-uploading the clips after he passed so that everybody who is using the algorithm and searching for new clips can now remember his message.
Because the moment should be about the man that passed, not about these people that started the clips and love this guy. Like, it's tasteless. And I can't teach you taste.
Or the controversial,
if you don't know that this is tasteless,
controversial messages that he's brought forth.
I think you're in denial about what you do for a living. You make content and you serve it to people.
give me one example of Joe Budden doing something where his moral compass wasn't in the content space. See, I'm not like y'all.
What?
Y'all do that. Y'all are like little monetization roaches.
I don't think I did anything wrong. I think what I did was the right thing to do.
We're clearing that.
Right.
I gotta shoot him some bail. Just because, and I want to crack you. but no,
I got 5 more examples coming after this, so please shoot him bail.
No, my thing is, I just think that he just is out of touch with our demo.
Well, you guys are probably a bit older than me, right?
Stop, because that exists in what I'm saying. Adam 22 has become a multimillionaire off of black culture.
True.
It is his responsibility
to be more in touch.
I interview a lot of people from a lot of different races.
I know, but it's black culture that has made you a multimillionaire. I don't give a fuck about the bikes.
That's true.
It's black culture that has made you a multimillionaire.
You are in agreement with that.
Yes. A lot of truth.
He could argue it if you want. I wasn't finishing my point.
Okay.
Because of that, it's almost your responsibility.
That is true.
To be somewhat in tune with what should and shouldn't happen when prominent figures pass.
That is true.
That's not the time to put on your white card and say, hey, my audience, I have fans, my this. It's a lot of my. What I'm saying is, in the moment of someone perishing,
that's true.
It should be them.
And that is
you don't seem to take that stance.
I
and this is not the only person that you have done this with when they die.
And that's my argument with Rogan and Schultz when they say certain things.
Same.
And a black community comes to defend them, saying, yo, they talk about everybody. Yo, it's jokes. Yo, it's this. If you are in tune with the black culture, and I
piggybacking off of it.
I won't say Rogan because his primary demo is not that. But if you are in tune with black culture and you're a friend to black culture, dog, it's certain shit that you should know. You can't cross that line.
Can't do it.
Not to you. I'm just giving examples. Yo, if I'm in tune with...
Wait,
let me finish. No, let me finish. If I got a bunch of Jewish friends, right? I know that it's certain shit that I'm gonna say that I can't say out of sensitivity for them. When Donald Trump was dissing Hispanics, right? If I have Hispanic friends and I'm just an outward Trump supporter, I know that might be touchy for them.
Hispanics love Trump now.
They do.
This
some, not all, some.
This is the part that make it more nasty for him. You up already.
Right.
I don't think Hispanics like being called Hispanic, by the way.
They don't?
Latinx.
I didn't know.
The part that makes it more nasty, Adam, is you up already. It's not like you building your platform.
So you didn't need to do it.
It's not like I need the audience. I'm super good.
If I die,
I will not upload and I will not chop up our shit. I wouldn't.
I believe
it wouldn't matter what you want.
If you take the timestamps from this interview and you find the 4 or 5 most interesting things that I said that are representative of what message I was putting out here, I don't know if I've really been like messaging anything in particular right now, but if that were to be the case and you were to cut those clips, I would think that you were doing a service to my family, my fans, and the people who supported my brand by taking the things that I said and putting them on blast the same way that a radio station playing Pop Smoke records after he dies is them celebrating the life of Pop Smoke. Nobody would say, "Oh, the radio is just trying to monetize Pop Smoke's death."
You think them headlines you put up about Kevin Samuels is you fucking
celebratory?
Yes, because it's spreading his message. Whatever he had to say to the world, what he chose to say in his No Jumper interview while he was alive,
he gets this.
Is the stuff that we were highlighting.
You're a multimillionaire, and you know that the power in your wording for the clips that are to be put up there, they paint a picture.
And you're one of the best at your craft. You can't play stupid. You understand the YouTube game, the monetization game, the caption game. You have a staff.
We know it.
The time to be self-serving is not at the time of somebody's passing in black culture.
I think it was much more serving to the audience and his fans than it was to me. Even though, yes, we made some money, but we have a staff who has to cut these clips. We have. There's a reason why YouTube clips make money.
But
no, they didn't have to
do clips. Then they didn't have to do that.
I thought it was an important thing for us to do. I thought it was important to spread his message after he passed. The same way I thought it was important to put his message on blast while he was alive.
How many other people that passed have you done this with?
Plenty.
Why is that part of your business model?
Because I think it's the right thing to do. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, and I actually think that it benefits the audience.
Who does it benefit more?
Why do you keep talking about the
Who does it
audience?
benefit more?
Because that's what we make content for.
Who does it benefit more?
So at no point do you take a gut call and make a decision as the head of a company. Like, why you keep telling me about the audience who means nothing? They don't mean nothing. They
mean everything.
I know. I know it. PC time.
This doesn't exist.
I know.
I'm not gonna
Save
do that
it, save
speech,
it,
but,
save
yeah.
it,
No, they
save
mean
it,
something.
buddy.
They mean something.
Right.
I agree with him, but
They don't mean nothing at the top of the board making their decisions for the company. No, they don't.
Not just that.
That's on you and the people that make them decisions.
In comparison to his family, they barely got an opportunity to grieve, and it was, and if your pulse is on the culture, which I'm assuming that it is, then you know it was definitely blowback when he passed away. If
I didn't get any blowback for uploading the clips.
Not you.
We
This
talking
is not
about
about
No,
you.
I know he got some, but
So what I'm saying is your pulse is on the culture, your pulse is on hip hop, your pulse is on black culture. Then you know that when this man passed away, there was a shitstorm of anti Kevin Samuels rhetoric, a shit ton. So now when I post
That you consider none.
and when I post these things about him with interracial dating
Shoulder
and all of
shrug.
this other stuff, then you know it's gonna be something.
Kevin didn't give a fuck about the hate he was getting the same way I didn't give a fuck about the hate that I'm getting for uploading his clips. People got on my ass a little bit for interviewing him, I guess. I don't fucking care.
But you're not addressing the timeliness of your clips when it came to his family. His
And you're not
loved
addressing white history in this. Because we keep talking about blacks and hey, you should have a pulse, and you should have a pulse, and if you you're not addressing white history in none of this.
What you mean?
Which is let's see. How do we explain this? White history using black people, using Kevin Samuels, his name, image, and likeness with really no regard, care, consideration, or love for how you do so as long as you're monetizing.
I think I did all those things. I think those clips represent him well. Look at these comments. This was my favorite Kevin Samuels interview. I came back to watch it in memoriam. R.I.P. Godfather. Exactly. That's why I uploaded it.
And that's why I said there's a disconnect.
Look at that comment.
With
6,000 likes. Kevin is blowing up because the problem is recognized by all men regardless of race.
They just don't know what he's doing. That's why he keep taking it to fans, and I keep taking it to him.
You have chosen to view what I'm doing.
They are humans.
I think if you really thought about it, you would not think this.
I've thought about it.
I think
I've thought about this mad long. You did this. Vlad did this. Like y'all little no, not a lot of people.
Really?
Not, and that's my point.
I just think it's normal.
I know, but not a lot of people did this.
Really?
It's only you and your little fuckhead white boy compadre that did this. Black people don't think to do this when black people die. The black content creator. You did not see that. Act didn't do it. Nobody did it. It was you and Vlad. So what do you think about that? Y'all two in black culture treating black people like that.
I think Vlad was the first person that I saw do it, and I think that my gut reaction at first was like, oh, that's kind of nasty, that's kind of cringe. And then as I thought about it, I landed it with a perspective more like what I have now, which is that I think it's important to... that when you post a clip, you're spreading that person's message more. You're getting their content out there more. And I think that when they pass, it's even more important that we celebrate their life by talking about them and serving this content up in the algorithm for the people who love them.
Tell Ish about... Oh, go ahead.
You just fucked up, though.
What?
You said when Vlad did it, your immediate gut reaction was cringy and it's in bad taste.
Right.
Why would you think that?
Because I hadn't thought about it enough.
Why would your immediate gut reaction be, yo, this is in bad taste and it's cringy?
I think Vlad was the first one through the wall on a lot of things, and that he was the one who figured out this made sense very early on.
He dancing.
You tap dancing.
He dancing.
What?
You didn't answer my
You're not
question.
answering his
I'm
question.
not talking about Vlad.
We don't
Why
care
did
about
I
what
think
Vlad
Why
did.
did Adam
Because it was
think...
something I had never seen done at first. I thought, I've never seen someone just immediately upload a person's content after they passed. Then I
Why
thought
do you
about
think
it.
that's true? Why do you think you had never
and
seen
why
that
did
done?
your gut reaction think that it wasn't a proper thing to do? Because it's not.
because I had never seen it done.
Because you're a human. Because you're a human in here somewhere.
I actually thought, that makes a lot of sense. The TV networks do the same exact thing. If some fucking say MTV was still what it is right now, and God bless, Pop Smoke passes, what are they going to do? They're going to be playing hour-long blocks of Pop Smoke music videos because that's what people want to see at that moment.
Big business does a ton of shit with no regard for humanity.
But I don't think there's anything wrong with it. People want to see that content in that moment.
No. Look, somebody got a cop put his knee on a man's neck for 9 minutes.
Right.
It ran on TV, every fucking channel on the planet.
Mm-hmm.
Yes?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. People watched it. Mm-hmm. Every fucking channel on the planet, somebody was watching it. Do you still think that that's adequate to show just because people are going to gravitate to negativity?
I thought it was unbelievably important to show because it made so many people. If I had read an article, if I had read a tweet describing the George Floyd homicide, I would have thought that's terrible. I would have never understood it the way that I understood it when I watched it in full.
You are 1,000%
yes,
correct.
100%.
Now, cool. Fast forward that into somebody, because now it's information. It's an informative of what's going on in the world.
Right.
So I'm with you there. Now, let's say a year from now, somebody gets an opportunity to monetize it. Let's say they put it in a rap song. Let's say they TikToked it and just had the knee go. Yo, dog, it's disgusting that because your initial reaction was a human one. That Vlad did this, it's yucky. And then now your business brain kicks in to say, you know what? But if Pop Smoke died,
he's on to something.
The radio stations that do this to generate money.
Found is made a headline or a icon or something that was.
You could have honored the man.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
More.
You could have. I know you think that.
Right.
That's
We're not talking about what your white boy brain don't have no place in
what
this.
I think? What else is there?
I know, but your brain don't have no. Ugly. Your brain don't have a place in that. We know you think that. I'm asking you to humanize everyone here. You already did that to yourself. You said what you thought initially. But if Kevin Samuel's mom called you to say, yo, dog, you didn't have to do this right now. Your reply wouldn't be all of this shit that you do. My audience, I have a due diligence, and I was spreading his likeness and his awareness. That's the part I'm attacking. We're missing humanness in this.
If his mom asked me that, I would think she was just as confused as I currently think that you are about the issue. But would I probably delete it out of respect?
Arrogance from this
nigga?
mom?
You would think his mother was confused?
I would think she was confused about what the role of media is when somebody passes, because I think the role of media is to promote content about that person, to allow people to celebrate it.
Adam,
that their life.
Fam, y'all didn't even have the clips. Y'all went and created them.
Listen to me. He think that conversation is a media conversation.
That's true.
Why do you think that conversation between you and his mom, hypothetically, it would be about media and the role of you when her son is dead? What the fuck is wrong with you white boys?
We run a media company. True. We put media out. That's our business, and that's how we engage with our audience. And by uploading YouTube videos, right?
I understand.
And if people want to see that person at that moment, I consider it my duty to provide them with important content.
Whenever it's it don't matter. We slicing up. We putting you out. Yeah. We making money off you. We don't really care about
not about the money.
We don't really care about none of y'all.
Only about the money.
You didn't cut monetization off. That's why.
Nobody thinks that you podcast just for the money, right? You don't. Think
I don't know what they. I don't know what they think.
When someone passes and we promote that content, why is that viewed through the sinister lens of they just want to make money?
Because you didn't cut monetization off.
No, bigger than that. Because
that's not how the platform works.
And you ignored more. You ignored
and the timing, yo. And the timing, yo. Like it was, he's announced he passed, and right after that, I was like, yo, let's get these clips out. Hurry up.
Let's take it off him for a minute. Okay. Tell Ish about mine and your last conversation via text.
Okay, and this was something that caused us to do quite a bit of self-reflection amongst me and the news team. Basically, somebody on the news team had posted something about one of Joe's exes who had sort of taken some old claims of abuse and brought them back to the surface. My media team is talking about it. Certain people felt strongly about it. They wanted to post it. They said, Adam, do you think it's okay if we post this? I said, if you think it's important and you think it's newsworthy, then I'm not going to step in between you and this content and you posting it. Then they post it. You hit me up. You inform me that this is the same exact shit that they've been saying forever. This is not new. I felt like that was a really good argument, that if this is old shit and it's just being regurgitated without cause, then that is a very good point. And so we ended up having conversations about it afterwards. I ultimately ended up regretting it, but at the same time feeling like this is a difficult position for me to be in, to tell, my mostly female social media staff.
It's not when you a human.
Okay.
It's not a difficult spot to be in at all when there's humanness involved in this.
Okay.
Let me read it just so we're clear and everybody's on the same page here.
For sure.
Here we go. I send him the clip.
Mm-hmm.
No jumper. Joe Budden X says blah, 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 blah. It's the same thing that's been there for 10 years. Him and I know each other. This ain't Kevin Samuels. We have spoke. He, quote unquote, looks up to me. Fucking, we've almost done business. I text him and say, yo, this is disgusting. Adam, this is disgusting. He says, news team posted it. Why is it disgusting? Already we pushing this off on our employees.
But I think in that moment that they were under the impression that this was big news and that we would
I'm not talking about your fucking minions. I don't care what your minions.
Well, they're very important in the story.
I know, but for my story, it's only you that's important because you run the ship.
Ultimately, it comes back to me. I 100% agree.
You run the ship. I don't give a fuck about what your staff thinks. Fuck your staff.
Right.
I'm talking to you, nigga, the
and
boss.
Ultimately, it all comes back to me, and I'm totally okay with that.
No, my thing is,
I take all the smoke for them. Even
Wait, let me finish it. Wait, what?
The why is it disgusting would have been had me perturbed.
Exactly, because I don't think there's anything disgusting about
so he acknowledges
people acknowledging some
news team posted
wrong.
it. Why is it disgusting?
That was a real question.
That's what had me perturbed.
Not really. That's not really a real question. Why is it disgusting? But all right, cool. I responded to him.
I see men being
I know
accused
him.
of abuse and
Save
whatnot on
your
social media all the fucking time. How is it not
your
news just 'cause it's
cockamamie
you?
shit for another nigga.
Now, it ended up being old enough that I ended up agreeing, but in general, it seemed like news to me in the moment.
I tell him. Maybe because it's a story from 15 years ago that your team is running that doesn't even have paperwork to support it. But I will not tell you how to run your business. Have a blast. He says, it's a new statement from her, right? I would need a pretty good reason to tell them to delete it. That's what he said to me. Are y'all hearing me? Or do I need to repeat this?
No, I heard you.
The fact that you think that this is some crazy shit I said is very weird to me.
Adam, this is the most cockamamie shit I've ever read.
My thing, if I'm Adam.
Everybody in hip-hop has covered this story about you at some point, right?
True.
Has everybody in hip-hop...
Mostly 10 years ago.
Has everybody in hip-hop covered your stories?
Some.
No,
Has everybody in hip-hop covered your stories?
I think when I had my story, though, I was a much smaller personality, so it was covered by much less people.
And now that you are bigger...
Right.
Some of those nasty, we'll call false allegations, I don't know enough about them, but they should have been, they would be detrimental if true. There's nobody that are reposting some of those stories of the things that women said that you did to them, right? Today in 2020. Can you answer my very direct question?
Well, no, I don't see a lot of that.
So my thing is, and that's where I'm losing. I don't think he's wrong for his team, but I think the insensitivity and, why do you think this is wrong? I would need a really good reason to delete this, as opposed to me and you having a personal relationship and you now going to research what is going on and coming up with your own rationale to delete it.
Well, I was actually really asking him for the reason that he thought that it was so unfair, because if he proposed to me that it was unfair or that this was being misrepresented in a way that I thought was accurate, then I would delete it. In reality, she had just made this statement.
You're not as stupid as you play.
No, so let me ask you.
You're not as stupid.
It's okay to just say,
you're not as stupid as you play.
Generating money, so
you're not as stupid as you play.
Instagram post generating money.
Time out. Hold on. You said earlier that you guys are friendly.
Right.
You have a relationship. So if I'm calling Adam, that's my man, and I'm saying, this is disgusting. Before I even would have replied to you, I'd have said, why? Why do you think that? I'm lost. Why do you think that? And then whatever you said, the 15-year shit, now I don't even immediately hit you back.
I'm going to look.
And I'm at my team.
Time out. I'm at my team. I'm going to go look and research what Joe is saying. And then now I'm going to come back to my friend or the person that I have some semblance of a friendship relationship with to say,
or business relationship.
Yo, dog,
any relationship.
No, look.
Whatever you want to call it.
I'm going to say, yo, dog, my bad. I didn't know that this was going on. I thought this might have been new news, whatever the case may be. And this is why I hate the entertainment business because if I have a semblance of a friendship or relationship with somebody, before I even allow my team to run the story, true or false, I call a person first. And I'm going to say, yo, dog, my team just came across this shit.
And I agree. I wish I
gotta post it.
I wish I had handled that situation in a more human manner, much like what you're describing. So I am going to acknowledge 100% that I wish that I had been more empathetic or more, involved with the process before they posted it or whatever. But also, I just want you to understand that as a news site that posts news, a lot of times, this seemed like news to us at the time.
Do you consider yourself a journalist?
I don't think I deserve the title of journalist necessarily, but we run, a media company that posts news. And a lot of times when a guy is accused of being abusive towards a woman or whatever, this is just an obvious news story, right?
Cool.
And I think in this situation, there was confusion amongst the team about how new this was, what new shit was being brought to the table, how well sourced it was, et cetera. Because those are all factors that matter. I'm sure that you would agree.
Citations are important.
If last week you went to the hookah bar and smacked a bitch in the face, I'm pretty sure you would agree with me that would be worthy of being covered on No Jumper's news page, right?
Yes.
If you got arrested, then it's recent, it's well sourced.
And then you saying that, and
this was not that.
It wasn't well sourced.
Shit.
It wasn't well sourced, and before just us, and we're new podcasters. Sometimes up here we'll be like, yo, stop, and we'll stop recording to go research
before we say
some shit that
something.
sound funny.
The medium that's posting. Like if it's Variety or somebody that is more reputable, then we'll post it. You know what I mean? Or we'll run with the story even if we don't.
And why this bothers me even more so in this example is because you and I have had private conversations in confidence.
I would be tight
about some of them nasty charges that was coming your way.
I never had a charge. Accusations. Anonymous accusations.
I never had a rape allegation.
Right.
Yeah.
I never had a rape allegation.
I would feel.
And we had moments where you let me know, hey, someone's lying on me and it's affecting my business.
True.
I would think that if there was anybody in the world that would do a little better with that, it would be you. But you keep checking your humanness at the door. And I'm trying to find out why.
That's a good one.
In that situation, I should have been more involved with the process. I don't think at that point, the team I've never had a conversation where I said, hey, here's a list of people that you need to be extremely careful about covering because I have personal relationships with
Nor
them.
should you.
You shouldn't do that.
Right, but I think it would be beneficial for me to be like,
You should have a fact checker on staff.
there's a certain amount of stuff that
And-
if I have a close relationship with somebody, we should be even more diligent. Although we should be diligent in general about everything that we
would agree
post.
with that.
At this time, it felt to them like this was a big story that was unfolding. In retrospect, it was a total dud that was basically a rehash of some shit that had been done before. I wish it played out differently. I wish I had handled it differently. I definitely acknowledge that didn't work out.
That's a good answer.
That's different than the way I feel about the Kevin Samuels thing, where I don't.
No,
think I
but
did
that's a
anything wrong.
good. So let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
Right. No, and I will acknowledge all day the shit I think I've done wrong.
So in that, my text to my man would have been, "Oh shit, yo, we dropped the ball on this. My bad. I apologize."
Yeah.
See, in my opinion,
Accountability.
apologies and accountability are so grown. Like if a chick is accountable for some bullshit, I find it sexy. I think just us as men sometimes we look at accountability and apologies like vulnerability.
There was probably 3 times that before I hit him up about, hey, I'm coming to New York, let's talk, where I thought to myself, I want to hit Joe up and talk to him about that, and then just couldn't figure out what I wanted to say.
That's
or
horrible
he's
as
so
men.
busy that I don't know if I FaceTime him, he's not going to pick up. He got a million things going on. If I text him, what the fuck am I going to say? I don't feel like I can get across what I want to say about this subject in words. So I don't want you to think that I checked my humanity at the door, even though that decision was not ideal, right?
Yo,
I'm sorry, dog. 3 words. I'm sorry, dog.
I am sorry. Yeah.
Yeah,
'Cause I don't like the way
text
that-
at 3 in the
my
morning.
last text to him in that exchange was, he said, it's a new statement from her, right? I would need a pretty good reason to tell them to delete
I
it.
would have been tight.
Yeah.
I would've been
That part right there had me tight.
I would have been tight.
Well, that told me 2 things. It said that he's stupid and he don't know he's being stupid. The next sentence was, I didn't ask you to delete a thing, which I didn't. I'm just speaking to someone I have supported. Say less. His next text to me is Friday. Yo, I'm out there. I'm in New York. I'm in New York on Wednesday, dog.
So
what we doing?
I didn't even know we were going to do content. I figured, hey, let's get together at the hookah lounge and we could talk about our differences. Maybe there'll be a podcast set up.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying about white people.
That's not white people shit.
No, some white, but not white.
No, that is not white.
It's not all
That
white.
is money, content over everything.
Yes.
That's bullshit,
Yeah,
yo.
That's it.
Cause you know when you and Joe go to the hookah bar, y'all gonna start kicking it, and it's gonna be I'm gonna come on your show Monday.
That one.
Let's go.
I'm gonna come on your show
Give me
Tuesday.
this.
Yeah.
Meet the man that killed Young Dolph right after Young Dolph died.
Well, no, it was,
Explain this one.
look at right there. The Young Dolph shot and killed in Memphis 9 months ago. And
Look,
then
all right, so we win.
look
meet
at
the
the
man who
views.
killed Young Dolph
No.
7 months ago when
Look
they
at the
caught
views
the
on
guy.
that one.
Come on, Adam, give us something, yo. Give us something,
just
yo.
Say
Just
you
say
up
I'm-
for the views.
Yeah.
Give us something,
Yeah.
yo.
Of course, but do you not think that them finding the guy who killed Young Dolph or whatever, that's news?
You know what my rule
Seems
is
like
here?
massive.
Let me tell
You
you.
see how
let
that's
me tell you.
worded?
Yo, let me. Yo, wait,
That's
yeah.
nasty,
You know what the
bruh.
fuck he did, yo.
That's just
listen, Adam, listen.
disgusting,
Let me
dog.
tell you a rule I have here, and then you can take. The floor is yours.
Sure.
The rule that I have here is, and they'll tell you, I stay out the street shit.
Yeah, that's fair.
Shit is broken. Shit is reported. The streets talk. We hear shit. He killed who. He did that. Who did what. But in terms of media, I don't. It's not my job to report it. Tell y'all what happened. I don't have a role in this. It's not my
That's
place.
the difference is that we do the news and you don't. Well, you talk
I
about
don't
the
do the
news,
news.
but we report on the news. Like we have a news.
Earlier, you put
channel.
us all in the same monetization group.
We
I
do
was
some
saying
of the
I don't
same
do
things.
some of that
We
stuff.
do some of the same things, but you guys are not breaking news. You talk about stuff that has pretty much been established, right? And it's not
Yes.
like we're really like breaking news. It's not like
Meet the man that killed Young Dolph.
That's disgusting. I don't care how-
Is come on, Adam.
And it's
You're
titled
human,
again.
yo.
It's titled that way, and
For a
you see
reason.
the benefit of the title
And look,
because that's why that one's at 430,000 views, and all the other Young Dolph ones, the Rest in Peace Young Dolph, the other everything else is nowhere near close to that.
right.
This was intentional, and that's what we keep saying.
Just say,
Just say
Yeah,
I'm
it was
doing
a
this for
strong
that.
title.
I'm on it for the views.
I'm
Yeah,
here for
it's
the views.
just stand on it.
But
say
it's like
view-
you wanna
views over
deny-
life.
But you want to deny the reality of the fact that if you make YouTube content, you're gonna have to think about your titles at a certain point. You're gonna have to title it well so that people want to watch it. You guys have clips.
Well, that's a
This is
fact.
a reality of the
That's
business.
a fact.
Now, did the titles sometimes maybe like enter into the realm of bad taste? Meet the man who killed Young Dolph. It could
That's
have been.
bad taste, bro.
That's bad
It
taste.
could have been.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I'm gonna
That's
tell
an
you,
accurate title. If it was inaccurate, I would be with you.
hold up.
He's crazy.
I'm
It's
gonna
accurate.
tell you what else to
crazy
say.
white boys.
9 months
told
ago,
you all about the guy who
Young
killed
Dolph
him.
shot and killed in Memphis.
Right.
Okay, that's
That's
reporting
a-
the news.
that's a fair title,
That's
right?
a fair
Yeah, yeah.
title.
It's reporting the news.
146,000.
Reporting the news.
Right.
A month after that, let's
Right.
double back. R.I.P. Young Dolph. Only 85.
Just 85.
Nothing working.
That's just a
Okay,
re-up
check
of
this
the
out.
original.
I know.
I know.
Let's go a month past that.
All right, now, next month
Hey, we found this.
we
nigga.
got it. Meet the man who killed Young Dolph.
Oh my lord!
So
come
what-
on, Adam.
Smash.
Come on,
Just
Adam.
say you're
I'm trying
Just
to
give it up.
What
Come
would
on,
be the
dog.
literal version of this title? The man arrested, accused of murdering Young Dolph. That's a fair representation of literally.
Arrest
Young
made,
Dolph's
arrest made in
killers-
the murder of Young Dolph.
Young Dolph's alleged killers.
No,
arrested.
you introducing us. Meet the man.
yeah.
You making this nigga somebody.
You said right.
Yo,
That's why that clip did well.
Let me tell you what that
title probably
let me
helped a lot.
Let me
Let's be real.
no, you think? Let me tell you what that clip did to me. That clip told me you interviewing this nigga. That's what I thought.
We got him on
I see this like, oh, he
You
interviewed
see
him.
it? You see him circled in the picture right there?
No,
Y'all
meet
met him
the
up.
I
man.
don't know him.
Meet
but-
the man.
Bruh, you got a platform interviewing people. I see this like, oh, they sat down with this nigga.
Well, I see this
Oh,
as
let's
you
see what
guys
he
getting
talking
like thinking that this title's like 15% more spicy than a title that would just be literal. It's so close. It's so not that far
Adam,
off.
Fam, this
from a
title
that would
says,
just be
Come on,
simple
man.
if
as
you're
fuck.
just reporting the news, the news is
Adam.
arrest
You
man
said
in the murder of Young
Adam.
Dolph.
This is LA.
Come on, dog. We're not doing that.
Hey,
Adam,
We're not
hey,
doing
don't
that.
disrespect our couch with these lies.
Yeah,
Adam.
we can't do that with fam.
Come on. Hey, we are willing to accept, I was moving foul. I think I understand what y'all saying. I'm not saying I'm going to change my behavior,
Yeah.
but
You
I
gotta
do
some
understand where
acknowledgement.
y'all are coming from
I
with
just
this.
don't really think it was like that.
Come on,
like,
fam.
okay, we
You got it, dog.
identified
You got
a
it.
title that you guys would think was acceptable,
dog.
and then you guys suggested that if it was like two,
look at
it's
this
like
one.
2 words different, and
this
that
guy,
makes it
this
deeply
guy's on a
offensive.
roll.
What?
This guy's on a rest in peace to these people. I don't want to make it seem like I'm laughing.
Right.
You going crazy here.
Which
What?
one?
What's it say? Read it, man.
Read it,
I ain't
yeah.
reading.
The billionaire black.
I ain't reading it
I'm not
neither,
reading
yo.
it.
I'm with energy and vibes
Yeah, I'm
and
cool.
frequencies. I can't read. You read it. It's yours, nigga. You put it out.
Which one?
Any of them. Read that one right there. Hey, Alex, put the arrow above the one you wanted to read.
Oh, I didn't know you'd be.
Yeah,
on
that
this.
one right
Arrows all
there. Yeah,
over
that
the
one
place.
right there.
Okay.
Yeah.
I interviewed
Yeah, that one.
I
That
interviewed
one.
FBG Cash, and this is a clip from the interview.
that?
FBG Cash claims Lil Durk told him to take a photo at King Von's mural.
Rest in peace, King Von.
Rest in peace,
Rest in
FBG
peace,
Cash.
FBG Cash.
Yeah.
Oh no, this is like a
Also-
this is not just an isolated incident.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying.
Habitual.
That's what he talked about in the interview.
Cool.
That's what he talked about.
That was it.
Not funny to me.
I mean, that's
Not
a
at
clip.
all.
It's an important
Not
clip. It's
at-
an important thing you talked
But
about.
this is a microcosm of this business and what goes on and how some people look at black artists, black lives. Like, come on, Adam,
Let
you
me
got
explain.
a bigger
Let
responsibility
me hit you
than
with
this
this.
as a
Truth bomb.
multi-millionaire
Truth
from
bomb.
fucking hip
Don't
hop.
Truth bomb. I know all the
fuck
guys.
outta here.
Listen, I know many
Truth
guys from
bomb.
O Block, right? I've been there. I know these guys. I interview a bunch of them. I fuck with them. I fuck with the GDs as well. None of them have told me that they think these titles are in any way out of line, because to them it just seems like common sense. If you're gonna interview these guys, of course you're gonna talk about the shit that they actually talk about in their
Now you
music.
sound like a label head.
No, now I'm tight, kinda. I ain't gonna hold you. Think about this.
This interview came out. He had no complaints.
How-
None of the O Block
Adam, let me
guys
a-
had
let
any
me ask you-
complaints.
let me ask
You
you
guys
a
are so much more sensitive than the actual gang members.
You know why? Because we're in our 40s. Stop.
And not
Yeah.
wrapped
Yeah.
up in this at all.
Yeah, he's mine.
No, let me finish.
We're the same age.
No.
Yeah,
He's saying we're more sensitive.
Yeah.
We're the young black people that are these kids' parents. These are our little brothers. These are our fucking nephews that are outside killing each other, and you white people are now interviewing them. to fucking,
yo.
What about when they
Let
went?
me finish.
What
Look,
about when he went
hold
on
up.
those
Let
music
me-
and dissed all his ops in the
Can I
music,
please
so
fin-
that I could
I
then
would
later
love-
ask him about it in
Dog,
interviews? Right?
I would love to finish.
Finish.
He ain't making the money you are. You sitting there interviewing these black kids that are fucking killing each other and y'all monetizing it. That's not cool. I don't give a fuck what they talking about in they songs. Y'all are turning a profit off of this black trauma of them killing each other. Yeah, they the ones doing the killing because they young and they dumb and they don't fucking know no better. We 45 and 46 years old and we know better because these are our nephews.
So
They not your nephews, and that's why you don't see the Kevin Samuels shit in the same light that we see it, because you're a white dude and you don't understand what he is. Except Kevin Samuels was causing a black
drill rappers aren't worthy of being interviewed.
I'm not, bruh. You're not gonna spin my words. I'm sharp.
I mean, that's what I'm taking from what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying.
I interviewed this
I'm
dude
saying
and
you're-
I asked him about his music
True.
and his content.
True. And what I'm telling you is he's 19, 20, 21 years old. He's going to give anything just to be on somebody's fucking camera and get some light shined on his project.
I interview
And
rappers
what I'm saying is
all the time.
he lost his life.
I interview rappers all the
These
time.
people
who
are
deep
losing their
in the
lives,
streets.
and you keep telling me about
Deep
the
in the streets.
business of.
And I interview
of-
them, and they don't
They don't
They
know
don't talk
no better.
about crazy shit. No,
Adam.
because they do know better. I'm
Oh,
telling you,
which
most street rappers, when you interview them, are not going to say shit about their ops, or they're not going to. They're not going to whatever.
Older ones.
They're smart about it.
Older
right?
ones.
Smarter ones.
He
You don't
was
feel weird
someone.
saying ops?
He was someone. That's a normal word to me. He was someone who was more open about the people he was beefing with. Obviously, he's like Lil Durk's top op while he was living, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so he's talking about his problems with Lil Durk because that's a prominent theme in his
said top
music
op?
and stuff.
This
Stop.
guy
This
is-
ain't funny,
you
Parks.
hang out with people who say
Stop.
op.
Parks, it's not funny,
Okay,
Parks. Stop.
enemy. His enemy is a word that has been
Bruh.
used for as long as time. Okay. He's talking about this stuff in his content, so I asked him about it during the interview because that's what a lot of his content is
True.
about. Of course, I want to know about the conflict that he has with one of the top rappers that he has beef with.
True.
How can I not ask
You are
these
not
guys
saying-
about
you
the
are
shit
not
they're
saying-
making music
True.
about?
You're not saying one wrong thing.
Right.
You are not saying one wrong thing. What I'm saying is, I find it somewhat disturbing that somebody that is outside of what these boys endure on a day-to-day basis, interviewing them and monetizing it for your own personal gain when these kids are dying. This is them and their family's trauma that you guys are monetizing to turn a fucking profit. And you're calling it journalism. That's not fucking journalism.
They're gaining from it as
Or
well.
content.
No, they're not.
Yes, they
No,
do.
they're losing.
It's promoting his music
I don't
career.
ca-
There's a reason why these dudes, in particular, you got Ruga and FBG Cash on the screen. They both fly to Los Angeles to do an interview with me because it's promoting their career and their business that they're building for themselves. The fact that FBG Cash got into this random ass situation where his ex-girlfriend's new boyfriend shot him or whatever the fuck it was. What does that have to do with anything? That's
I'm
just
about-
some bullshit
I'm
that
gonna
happened
answer
after
you.
the
See,
fact.
even the way you
Wait,
just-
stop,
my
ice,
Lord.
stop,
Even the way you just said
Stop
that.
ice, stop ice, stop ice. Yo,
What the
you and your girlfriend,
fuck?
you said you and your
I was just saying that to make it clear that he didn't die over some gang shit. Like,
True.
it's not like he got killed by a rival gang member that he talked about in my interview. He got into some totally separate shit.
listen, you and your fiance were gonna, you said you guys got proposed to by somebody to do content.
Right.
You turned it down.
Right.
Why'd you turn it down?
Because we ultimately decided that we could do a
Because
fine job on our own.
You
Adam,
found
did you
a-
have black friends growing up?
No, time out. You found another
Okay.
way to monetize your content and cut them out.
Right.
You didn't need them.
Right.
They need you.
No.
You just
They,
said
you
it.
just said they.
You just said they hopped on a plane.
needed
They
you.
LA.
don't need me. They want to do content and reach out to
Because
my
it's, you
audience and
just
stuff.
said 2 sentences ago, my last question, that
FBG
they
Cash
both.
had videos with millions of views before anybody interviewed him.
I don't care. You just said that they profited and you profited. That's what you
Yeah,
said.
yeah, it's a mutual relationship.
They don't know enough. It's like me taking a 17-year-old girl or
This
18.
is a grown man. He just did like 7 years in prison before he did this interview. How can you just
Do you
treat
know
him like
how-
a child and say, oh, he doesn't know enough?
Because mentally he's going on songs bragging about his fucking killings. That means he don't know
seems like
enough.
an exaggeration. I don't know that he bragged about killing anyone. He would probably be in prison if that was the case. But
Ice.
he raps about street shit, right?
Ice.
You rap about street shit.
What I'm saying is this.
He keep a line. This
Yeah,
guy.
he does.
This
Everybody
guy.
that's grown ain't grown mentally. You agree with that or no?
So you think I should
I'm
be
asking
doing
you a
like some
question.
sort of
I would love for you
intelligence
to-
evaluation? Should I
No,
give them like a
no,
quiz where
no.
I have to prove that their
I would-
IQ is high enough before
Well,
I
yeah, I
interview
think
them?
you should be doing that.
No,
but
he don't have to do that. What I'm asking you is, do you agree with me, yes or no, that every grown person in age is not necessarily the sharpest knife in the drawer mentally?
Do I agree that there's a range of intelligence? Yes,
This
of
guy
course.
won't
Yeah,
answer a
sure.
question. Okay, cool.
Are there smart
Hey, he
people
doing
and
it,
are
Joe
there
Budden.
dumb people? Of course.
He did.
Hey,
Hey, for him to have a problem with what I did up there,
Yo.
he ain't answering a fucking
Y'all
thing
bo-
up
y'all
there.
both-
There are
Y'all
smart
are
people
crazy.
and there are dumb people.
All right,
This
cool.
is easy.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So some people, would you agree also, are more easily manipulated than others?
Sure, yeah.
Cool. Okay. So in them doing this, they're coming on your platform because your platform is huge,
Okay.
right? So do you agree that them coming on your platform, you said it already, that it has a benefit for them as well as you?
Of course. Yeah.
So do you also think that you are monetizing this black beef trauma shit that these boys are going through?
I mean, incidentally, yes, I am monetizing it because when we make content on YouTube, it's monetized by default. But that being
Incidentally.
said, this is content that the people clearly wanted to see. You see the view counts. These guys are popular. People want to hear from them. There's tons of other platforms interviewing them.
So that's your rule. If people want to see it, I'm putting it out. It don't
Yeah.
matter about
Because
life.
his-
I mean, but
Black
you realize
all in the
I
name of
actually like
content.
this music.
Because-
You realize I listen to drill music, right?
Yeah.
So these people are people I'm genuinely interested in meeting and having conversations
I get
with,
it.
and then I put it online.
get
Hold
it.
up, hold
Yo,
up. Let me hold
dog.
on. Hey.
But you know
hey,
what?
Hey. Wait. Because I say it all the time here about how that's not a fan. That's not a fan.
No, I actually listen to it. Like, actually,
Awesome.
that is the music I like the most in the world.
But
Same, but go ahead, you finish.
your behavior and your train of thought isn't aligned with the well-being of these people. You just listening to
Give
songs.
two fucks.
Let me give you.
You
let me-
don't really give a
you don't care
really
about
give
their
a fuck
well-being.
about
Hold on.
any of these people.
Why? That's such an extreme leap for you to take.
No.
It's true.
Wait, stop.
Why?
Wait,
How?
stop. Well, let me read
How
some
do
of
I
your
not care?
shit.
These are people I interviewed and then continue to have relationships
FBG
with before
Cash
he passed.
reacts to FBG Duck's mom. Like, you putting moms in this shit.
She dissed him.
What the fuck business
you-
is that of yours?
She's
No.
a YouTuber. She's a whole personality out here. Everybody
dog.
knows
Oh,
her.
this guy's going
Even
crazy.
Dog,
She is.
I'm gonna give you an example.
This
Like
guy's going
you said,
crazy.
you listen to drill. They all know that's the narrative about me. That's all I listen to. Not true, but that's the narrative.
Okay.
We sat down with an artist from the South. I'm not even gonna say his name. Folks who are familiar with him know who he's beefing with. He's been beefing with. You know what I'm talking about?
I do.
Yeah.
Not once did we ask him anything about that.
Nope. And could
Had an entire amazing interview. Had an amazing interview.
You got a cookie?
Cookies?
Chicken wings. You did.
Oh, it's a wing.
Did not ask him about that one time
At all.
Right.
At all.
because we're not trying to
'Cause you are
shed light
promoting
on that.
that.
We're not trying to promote
You are
that.
promoting
You
that.
are still an artist. There's more to you than that.
Right.
And
We
that's
don't
the
need
problem.
to sit there and clickbait that.
And that's the problem. We delved into who this kid is as a person, what he grew up and what he endured in growing up. Y'all don't give a fuck. Y'all care about what the people are gonna go to immediately.
What can we put out here to get clicks? Fuck what happens because of this. Fuck if anything comes back after this.
And this shit is detrimental to these boys evidently because
What
they
can we
fucking
click?
dying and y'all could give two fucks about it because
And-
y'all turning a penny from it.
Wait,
that's my only beef. That's
Time
my
out.
only beef.
Another weed is gonna grow right where that one grew.
That's my only
When
beef.
he dies, it's gonna be another fucking drill rapper to come take his place that we gonna interview and monetize
I would like
as
to
well.
respond to that.
That's ugly, bro.
And here's my issue. I ain't seen one BMX biker nigga up there yet.
They are. They
He
just
done
don't get
left the
any views.
BMX niggas, came to hip
Because
hop,
No Jumper
did
BMX,
this shit.
and you can find tons of BMX content that we make that incidentally.
Where's
ends
the
up on
BMX nigga that died where you went to his mom and said, yo, this nigga died. He got shot in the fucking head. His mom said, fuck these niggas over. Where's that from the niggas you fuck with, you little biker
I'm not
niggas?
aware of any sort of situation like that with BMX riders.
I know. And guess what? I don't see none of these BMX shits with no 600,000 and 700,000 views neither.
Yeah.
So it's more money in the nigga trauma. Come on, dog.
I mean, I interview rappers that I like, and then I ask them about problems that they have with other rappers that they are open about on records.
Because what?
Because I'm interested and because I know that the fans are interested.
Because
Yo,
you
what's
know
with y'all's?
that's gonna
What's with
lead
y'all's?
to-
The idea that that's wrong when I'm basically
what's-
just describing YouTube.
What
You
is your-
interview people and you ask them about the shit that people are actually interested in. You guys trying to somehow find a way to make this evil deed.
I'm asking about your
It's impressive
fascination with black
storytelling.
trauma.
I will give you that.
No,
This
I
is
was-
impressive
I was
storytelling.
on
You're
your team
adding
at
this
first.
weird narrative
Nah.
to what I'm doing that I don't think is accurate at
Adam,
all.
it's up there. It's not us. We reading your shit.
But you're creating this narrative that I'm just doing this because that's like I don't know because I want to see these people die.
No,
or something.
no,
I
you're
asked
doing
them
it
about
for
what they're
us. No,
rapping about.
I'm not saying that at all.
You
Knock
are
it off.
doing
They
that.
Knock
make
it
music
off,
about
buddy.
this shit because it's important to them, and then I ask them about it in interviews because it's important to them, and people want to know.
Let me ask you a question. Do you think, like the example I gave you, do you think you could sit down with one of these artists, interview them about them
Right.
without
bringing
the
up
drama?
bullshit.
I do that all the time, and a lot of people just don't say shit. You'll ask them, "So what was this line in this song? Was that about so and so?"
But that's not
what I
that's
said.
not what he
They
said.
don't
No,
give
that's
you
not
what
what I
you're going
said.
through.
They're just
No, but
not
I'm saying,
answering your question.
Can I do an interview in which I don't ask them anything interesting? Yes, of
I didn't
course.
say-
I think that's suboptimal. I'd rather do an
See?
interview that
See?
answers all the
See?
shit that the fans want to know.
Why you can't find something interesting without that?
Without death.
I think that's very interesting. Why does it have to go to death? You're just assuming that everyone's just dying
Adam,
left
they are
and right.
dying. These
Most
fucking
rappers
kids,
who beef with each other do not die at the end of the beef. It's just fucking words. It's rap.
That's
Why?
where you see, and that's the disconnect. These niggas are really dying.
He knows.
This ain't just
Percentage of
rap
them,
beef.
yeah.
he knows.
This is not rap beef. This is street beef with people that just so happen to rap.
A
But
certain
that's
person,
always how it's been in rap.
That's
Is that
not-
yes,
No,
some
it's
percentage
not.
of rap.
Hell
Tupac
no.
and Biggie died, and 99%
They
of
were
rappers
not beefing
from that
with
time period did not die.
and today,
Right.
you're right. I got him. You're right. Tupac and Biggie died.
Right.
Today, what percentage of these boys are fucking dying in comparison to 96 and 97?
I mean, that would be very hard for me to come.
No,
to
it's
some
not.
sort
No,
of
it's not.
number.
No,
I
it's
have no-
not.
I have
Is it-
no
is it-
idea.
is it more or
You
less?
don't have to have a
Is it more or
definitive.
less?
You guys
You-
have this idea of Chicago that
No.
just everybody's dead. Everybody has been shot.
I'm not talking about Chicago.
I'm interviewing these
Adam,
guys.
they are
Sometimes
keeping
pass
the
away
score
afterwards.
on their album covers. What are you talking about? You named Tupac and Biggie from our generation. These fucking kids are keeping the score on their album covers of niggas that they are killing.
And that's
did that?
fascinating to you.
Who did that?
Vaughn did that for the record.
Vaughn had an album cover with his dead enemies on the cover.
the scores was at the top.
Look at the
I've
LeVon.
never
Look at the
heard of
LeVon
this. I've
James.
never heard of that,
Look at the LeVon James.
I don't like
album
that you
cover.
white niggas get to put your hands up like this. Like,
They're
And
talking about some shit that I never
I don't
heard of.
like that they get to do
I am
that.
very
Which
familiar-
means
I'm
you
pretty
not
sure
real-
it's not true. That's
Look,
the main
time out.
reason.
Which
Because I've
means-
seen King Von's album covers. I've listened to his albums a million times.
Hey,
I'm pretty
Alex,
sure
pull
that's
up
not
King
on the
Von's
cover.
album
Pull
covers.
up King Von,
Do it,
LeVon
do it,
James
do it.
album cover, please.
I didn't know about
Yo,
it.
you like Joe, kinda. You really are like
No,
Joe.
I just
He's
it's
much worse than
unthinkable
Joe.
to you guys that I have a different opinion than you.
No, it's
time
not
out.
about your opinion. You are saying you are tapped
That's all
into the
you wanna
culture.
say, all these
Time
white
out.
dudes.
You
What
are
the
saying
hell
that
is
you are
going on?
24 to 6.
What the fuck is
It's a
24 to 6,
score.
Adam?
That
You are
he's been
saying that
rapping
you
about.
tapped into the culture so
That's what
much.
he's been
and
rapping
this is
about.
the only
That's
music
the
that you
score.
listen
I've never
to.
seen this tape before.
All right.
It's on Audio Mac. It's not on streaming services. Oh yeah, okay, maybe.
You've seen that tape?
Adam,
I never heard this tape.
Yes, you have.
Before he was popping.
No, that's the one that got him popping.
Not you.
It's not
you
his
are
album.
saying this
It's
is
a
your
tape.
favorite music.
Well, I never seen this tape before, and I'm not even sure. It's not on fucking Spotify. So.
Again, I was on your side till this. I was really
Damn, this
rocking.
is the
Because
one-
I haven't heard of this album.
No.
You heard Took It to the O?
No, you know.
Have you heard Took It to the O?
No, you are.
That's the single off this.
Okay, I've only listened to the albums and the videos on YouTube, so apparently
That's
I'm
his
on this
biggest
tape.
record.
It's on his album.
This is the album.
But that you said is your favorite
That's
music.
not an album. That's a mixtape.
You said this is your favorite brand of music.
He walks away throwing his hands in the air like I'm not right. It's a
No,
mixtape. It's
you're-
not an album. It's not on
Yo.
Spotify.
Listen,
Y'all
buddy.
too?
I've
Y'all
watched this
cousins?
video a million fucking times, and I know it was off that mixtape.
Me and you gonna
Because
fight.
it's also on the album.
This nigga
It's
sounds
also
like
on the
the
album.
devil himself.
No, y'all are cousins.
And you keep calling me him.
Let me tell you why.
Again with the narrative. He's trying to find some sort of evil
That's true.
narrative about what I'm doing
what
to
I'm
make
saying-
it sound more sinister
Oh,
than
like
it
when you
is.
call me a domestic abuser. I know I'm married.
Doing this.
Oh, you mean like that?
I hope the people at home are smart enough
When
to
you
know that
created
this is a
the narrative.
revenge narrative. This
No.
is not a truthful narrative. You're putting out the most negative version
Adam.
of me because it helps you in your little battle that we had earlier. And I get that. I know how that benefits you.
We never
But I'm
had
just
a
saying,
battle.
it's not
Nah.
accurate. You can't really think that I want these dudes to fucking die, right? That's like when the
Nobody
fans
said that.
I don't think
That's
that
like
at
when
all.
the fans are like,
Nobody
oh,
said
the
that.
labels want the artist dead.
I don't think
They
that
say
at all.
shit,
Hold up,
right?
I don't think that at all. But if by chance one of them died, you wouldn't have a problem posting some
you
clips.
certainly wouldn't cry
You
about the
wouldn't
loss
have
of
a
life.
problem. You wouldn't have a problem interviewing the mama if she wanted to get in front of the
you wouldn't
camera.
shed so many tears.
How can you say that when I'm going out to Florida, spending time with ex's mom? I've tapped in with the families of countless rappers that I've lost throughout the years. I've interviewed the mothers and the family members from.
Who mom you interview?
I interviewed. Well, I can't say about some of the ones that are coming out, but I've had a lot of like really,
But you are doing
real
it.
conversations with the families of the people who are doing this that you guys are choosing to characterize as me just profiteering off of death, which is it's just crazy because it's not true.
let me ask you-
hold on. And let me just go
Please,
ahead.
please.
Go ahead.
Let me ask you a question. Is that interview on camera?
I mean, it will be, yeah.
So is it sincere that you went out there with the sole purpose of interviewing this kid's mom to see how the fuck she's doing? Or did you go out there because now you're going to put interview with blah, blah, blah who passed away's mom and you going to monetize it? That's the fucking problem.
Answer that.
If I went out there to look, stop. If I went out there and I wanted to interview Kevin Samuel's mother to see how this black woman was feeling about the passing of her son, I would do it out of sincerity. I wouldn't do it because I'm going to put it on a fucking clip.
If I go and I interview somebody's mother after they pass, I could just have that conversation with them and not ever put it out to the world. However, I am a podcaster. This is what I do. I put the conversations that I have out there to the world so that other people can feel what I felt while I was having those conversations. So that in this particular example that we're dreaming up right here, so that I
Do
could
you donate the proceeds to
I
the family?
could have a
Do
conversation.
you donate the proceeds to the family?
You think they need another 10 grand?
What's your favorite album
Yeah.
ever?
This is what I'm
What's
saying.
your favorite album ever?
Parks, you're steering the conversation.
favorite
in a weird
what?
way.
I'm just curious.
But I just want to address this. This is what I do. I have conversations with people and then I spread it out to the world because I think it's important. I want to share my art with the world. And if I have an intense, in-depth conversation with somebody's mother after they pass, why it would seem so selfish for me to take that and save it for just myself when I want the fans. The fans are subscribed because they want to see that content. Now, am I going to make some amount of money that does not matter to me at all?
I'm not
You're
on
good.
your side.
Yeah.
You're good.
I'm a
was so-
multi-millionaire. If I do an interview and make 10 grand, what the fuck do I care? 10 grand is nothing to me.
I know.
I don't need to leave the house for 10 grand. You can't offer.
You
can't
also
get me
don't need to exploit
you can't
Black
get me to
Death
do
for 10 grand.
anything for 10 grand.
Hold up.
No, yes,
Hold up.
that's not
Yes,
true.
you can.
That's not
I'm making
true.
the point.
That's
I'm making
not
the
true.
point. I don't care. That's not the reason why I'm doing that content.
Yo,
I'm doing it because I think it's important.
Do it.
Adam.
You do it.
The
Guess
money
what?
is incidental.
She's talking to you.
Guess what happens?
Yes.
100 of those interviews equal what?
Right. Okay.
$1 million fucking dollars.
Right.
And if I do enough of these fucked up interviews, like you had 4 of them,
Fucked up. Now you're saying that my interviews are fucked up.
Meet the man that killed King Von. Did y'all fucking meet
crazy.
him?
That's a
That's
news
crazy.
story.
Did y'all meet
about
him? My
the
question-
killer
my
being
question
caught.
is-
That you
No,
somehow
it's
think
not
that
about
the
a killer
title
being
is
caught.
offensive.
No, the title is not offensive. The title
that's
is
the whole thing.
No, it's not offensive at
No,
all.
it is offensive.
No, it's not. It's not offensive to me.
Yo,
The
meet the
ti-
nigga that killed this nigga.
Time out. The title is misleading. Did y'all
Yes.
fucking sit down with him and meet him and interview him?
No.
Exactly.
I
my
wasn't even
fucking
in the
point.
video. I didn't title it.
It's your
You
network.
got a lot of slow staff. You need to fire staff.
I
You got a lot of little
don't think there's
staff
anything wrong with the
problems.
title.
Them 12 niggas is gonna get you caught up in some shit.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that title. Like,
I
I
know
can't
you don't.
believe that you guys think that's so offensive.
It's not offensive. Stop putting words in my mouth. What I said was it's misleading and it is clickbaity to think that you sat down with the killer of fucking Dolph and got an interview.
And that's
with him.
offensive to the family.
Well, he was already locked up. I don't think anybody thought that.
It's offensive
That's
to the
not
family.
true.
It's
That's
offensive
not
to the
He
true.
was
family.
literally already locked up.
I don't care.
as
They
that clip
think
came
that
out.
you got.
You're putting
might have
interviews
got
out after people died. They don't think that,
he might have
he
went
just
to the jail and
interviewed him
got an
today.
interview with the killer. That don't
Or
mean
he coulda had it in the
After
tuck.
he got arrested, that's optimistic.
It could have been in the tuck. And it wasn't no,
you are
there was no
moving the
demand for him.
goalposts. He's like you in the goalpost moving. Y'all got a construction companies where y'all pick it up and just move it across the field. Every fucking point that I've said to him thus far, none of them has he taken accountability
That's
for.
not true. I apologize for an entire thing that we discussed.
I was about to say outside of that one.
That being said, you guys are trying to convince me that my entire business is sinister. You're trying to
Nobody
convince me that the motives-
Nobody said that at all.
White sympathy. Don't try to get white
Nobody
sympathy.
said that at all.
Don't try to get
That
white
is not
sympathy.
true.
Because you fuck with me.
Don't try to get white
You would
sympathy,
never
yo.
fuck with me if the shit that you were saying was actually how you felt about me.
I don't run my business the way you do.
No, but not just that. I could be.
I don't run my business the way
I could
you
really
do.
fuck with you and be bringing something to your.
Yeah, to hold you accountable.
That could be really wide. That's really showing.
Like,
like,
yo, dog,
I
this
did
is
when you
ugly.
posted this shit about me. Hey, dog, where's your mind state right now?
I think it's
this
really,
is disgusting.
I like facing this criticism, so I don't mind getting
Come
this
on,
all
dog.
out here
This
because
is
I do
ugly.
think it's an important conversation for us to have. I also just don't think I did anything wrong. So,
Yo, dog, and you know why? I was giving you a lot of bail. Yo, no, this is what's
Hey,
happening.
pull up accountability.
He don't think that this shit is nothing because he might not have grown up there. We grew up in this.
If he was stuck with his little biker buddies, he'd feel different.
No, we grew up in this.
He feel
and
different.
again, these are our fucking nephews. And you saying that drill music is your biggest genre of music that you listen to today. King Von is one of the biggest artists in the fucking drill. And you to tell me that you never seen his album cover is some bullshit.
some random ass mixtape that is not on streaming
That's
services.
not random.
I wasn't listening to him.
Yo,
I guess,
you know
when
what
that
it is?
tape
Let me
was
tell
out.
you this. Let me interrupt.
I love hip hop, but I never seen
Let me
Ready to
interrupt.
Die album
I can
cover.
think of
Let me-
countless
let me
insane
interrupt
things
right
that King
quick.
Von has said
Let
in
me
songs that are
interrupt right
so
quick.
much more offensive than him putting the score on the album cover. So, I mean, regardless,
It
whatever.
is on streaming.
It is on streaming. It's classified
Of course
as
it's
an
on
album.
streaming.
Just so let me just show
Of
you
course
real
it's
quick.
on streaming.
Take a look right here. That's Apple
Of
Music
course
right
it's
there.
on streaming.
Look, you really think that I would look at that album cover and be able to tell that it says the score?
When he
there?
brags about it?
It's like 2 pixels up top.
I'm just letting you know that it is on streaming.
Why? You go out your way to find a
It is
nigga that
like-
killed
it's
somebody.
Close to 2 pixels.
I know.
It's
You find a nigga
totally
that killed-
unreadable.
But that's
Yo, you
opposite.
looking at
I
him?
didn't know about the album cover. I'm just saying you guys are choosing
You
the
and
most
Joe
bizarre
are, boy.
example to try to call me a hypocrite based on.
Yo,
this
y'all are,
nigga is the devil.
What was the movie? Yo, what was the movie?
You keep talking about me.
What's the
You
movie?
keep talking about me.
What's the movie with the white brother and the black brother? Y'all, that's
I don't know
y'all.
that
Y'all
fucking
twins. Danny DeVito and fucking
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That's y'all.
Yo,
bro.
what we saying is,
I was thinking about a different movie.
What? It was a different movie.
No,
That was a different movie.
Ambulance.
I know what you're talking about.
Ambulance.
This-
That's y'all.
Oh yeah,
yo.
ambulance.
Oh, get that.
What our broad point to you is, let me try to use a content example that you might understand. And even if you want to act like you don't get what we're saying now, at some point in your evolution, you will have to come to face with what we're saying.
No, he won't.
Ack got his big break doing what?
YouTube.
What on
what,
YouTube?
though?
You're referring to
You
Warren
cute.
Chirac,
This
but
guy's
that was
cute.
not his
This
first.
guy is
Not his
cute.
first channel. He started that channel.
I didn't ask you about his first
He didn't say
channel.
first.
I hate when people act
got-
like Warren Chirac was the biggest thing.
His
main
question
channel
was-
always doing more numbers than that.
Got his big break. Doing what? What's his
Doing
question?
Keyword there is big
Everyday
break.
struggle.
All right.
Hey, yo,
let me
I
let
know
you-
your-
hold on,
hey, I know your
hold on,
fiance
wait,
be
wait,
wanting to
wait.
kick your ass. Your fiance wants to.
I don't like him. I don't like him.
He fucks with me.
I don't fuck with this white boy.
Yo, I know your fiance be wanting to kick your ass when
Oh,
y'all
yeah,
argue.
yeah, yeah.
All right, I'll answer
like
it
the
for you
plague,
since
yeah.
you want to avoid it. Many people in the business learned about Ack through his War and Chirac commentary.
Sure. Okay. I don't think you knew about that when he was actually doing it. You found
I
out
don't,
about it
nigga.
after,
I'm
right?
up.
You don't
nigga.
give a fuck about that level of content. These fucking random drill
That wasn't
kids. You weren't
where
watching
wasn't where I was in my life.
Right,
I'm
yeah.
not talking about me.
I was watching
This is I'm excluded from this. I learned about this at Everyday Struggle because I had to deal with it.
Because Vic Mensa got fuck with him.
No. See, and that's your problem. Why? Because that was public. You know how many niggas privately I had to deal with? Because Ak was a novice at the time, and much like you, didn't see nothing wrong with his war in Chirac coverage until many people personally, now that he was growing and getting big, had to say what Vic Mensa said. Yo, that was our cousin. That was our nephew. That was our uncle. That was our family. That you, who don't know shit about shit, niggas dying every day, getting locked up. You don't know shit about shit.
He didn't say that.
And
he said,
you on
I
YouTube,
really think you a bitch.
and you on
because
that's the other part of it.
And that's the side that y'all don't see.
You're not from
that's
this
the
side
that y'all not seeing.
Yo, you're not from this
You're not
side.
from where Vic Mensa from, where he smacked motherfuckers up.
Hey, you can make a big Mensa joke all you want, but you're
am.
not from this side, and you are reporting on something without the information and without knowing the hurt that you
without
have
any
caused.
sensitivity.
Act much like you at
You're not gonna
first.
blame the war on Chirac on me.
Act.
I'm defending it a little bit, but I'm not. I didn't do that.
Akademiks, much like you, was resistant to that. He didn't really understand it until he had to grow some more. Then it was like, I can find a different way to do my job. And he does that. He does that today. He don't touch nothing near it. That was a moment.
He's all over the Kate Flock murder. He was all over the fucking, FBG Cash, this exact thing that we're talking about. He does videos about all these artists. He just doesn't talk about the 15th most popular dude in OTF who got into a shootout with so-and-so. Or
So then he's not doing that anymore.
Well, he's raised the level of who he'll talk about because he got so big that all of a sudden it wouldn't really make sense for him to talk about such small
point I want to talk to these niggas.
No, at some point I might bump into
into one of these niggas and I want to talk to them. I cannot cover them the way that I covered them from my mother's basement. Now that I'm a multi-millionaire and I'm out here and I have a bigger obligation and responsibility to culture.
I don't think it's that.
You seem to be ignoring that part.
Ak was a little too satirical with some of the way that he spoke about Chicago in the war in Chirac, but I think if he had toned it down 20%, then nobody would be able to say anything
now you're
bad
making me
about
mad.
it because he was still just talking about shit that people wanted to know about that was going on in the streets. There's a massive appetite for that sort of content, right?
Which means people are profiting off of Black Death.
But why do so many people want to hear about it? I feel like that's I get it, and I want to hear about it too. So
it's a million people that watch.
Am I gonna have to put my headphones on to hear whatever?
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Nah, answer Act, goddammit. We got action. Come on, give it to me.
I think he changed his number. They're all green for me right now.
I'm sorry, the person you were trying to reach.
Let me text this nigga. Get over here. Y'all keep talking.
Nah, I just think that people profiting off
it's
of Black
green now.
Death
You're right.
is disgusting. I don't like that. And especially people that are not of and from the culture because you have a disconnect in how you're going to report it.
This is my thing.
You too big to be doing this low level bottom feeder bullshit that you be doing.
I have a final statement.
You too big for this.
You probably won't let it be my final statement, but this is an important statement.
No, go ahead. Get your shit off.
Hip-hop is music of the streets.
True.
Right? Therefore, if we're going to interview popular rappers, some significant percentage of them are going to be associated with gangs or have been involved with the streets, involved in street situations or whatever. You basically have to touch on that because of the fact that they rap about it.
No,
right?
you don't. No, you don't.
So they can rap about it, but somehow it's off limits for me to sort of ask questions.
We don't.
That's fine. And you guys do great content.
I can name
so
a
you also
handful.
don't interview people. You also
No, I can name street rappers.
I gotta interview rappers who have 3 videos
No,
out.
you don't.
And I gotta
No,
think
you don't.
No, you don't.
But I want to because they're interested.
No,
to me.
you want to because you're going to put that
there
shit on
we
there and
go.
monetize it.
Yes,
Yo, we interviewed. What's my man name we interviewed from Houston?
Which one?
Crip dude from Houston.
Max O'Crean.
We interviewed him. We asked him no gang shit, no beef shit, no nothing. We talked about him as an individual. We interviewed the other dude that's beefing.
Yeah.
We ain't ask him shit about nothing. And he has active beefs that we could have put up as clickbaits to talk about on YouTube. We don't go there. We talk about these young black boys and their life and their upbringing and where they plan to go in their trajectory because we give a fuck.
I've been interviewed.
Yeah, I care about these people. Now, when they leave here and when they go, no, please shut the fuck up. And they go to Akademiks and Ak says, hey, such and such is shooting at you and such and that. What are you going to do about the beef? And then that shit goes to 1 million views in a couple seconds. I say, go Ak. I wouldn't have done that.
Never.
I'd have never done that. That's not my business model. It's not how I run things. That's not how I don't even want to speak to niggas about that type shit. I believe in karma and energy. What if one of these niggas options watching now they got a problem? Oh, you asked that question, I'm on you now. Like it get different, and y'all are just really there's a lot of naivete with y'all
because
it's convenient, stupid.
No, it's not. I've lost cousins to gun violence. I got friends doing life in jail. They can't attest to that. They never got them phone calls where motherfuckers doing life, sneaking the phone at 2:00 in the morning and all that goofy shit to talk to you. So it's a disconnect. Yes. It's a disconnect there where they don't know the importance of what they reporting. And they don't know how severe that shit gets, what they reporting. They don't understand that. Akademiks wasn't off the porch. No disrespect to him. He don't know none of that shit. That nigga
never
ain't
disrespect
never.
Him. That's my guy.
So,
but yeah,
he wasn't either. He was riding a fucking BMX.
But you know what? But it
at
took
17,
him,
when I was riding around $100,000 cars at 17.
But it took Ak. He got that everyday struggle job. You bring it up, everyday struggle. He gets that job, and now I'm around people. I'm no longer in my basement.
I can't be in my basement no more. I might potentially
now
bump into
I
these
have
niggas.
to hear about how people feel about my action, and that is what makes you act differently.
Yeah,
Fam,
That's what makes you
forget-
act
I can put it
differently,
on
Adam.
myself. I ain't got to talk about myself. 2010, 11, 12, Twitter,
Wildin'.
wilding.
I remember. I followed you back then.
Wilding.
You like
know.
that shit, right? You
I don't know
fascinated
why
with that
I
shit,
unfollowed
right?
him at some point. What happened? I don't know.
I don't know.
He stopped. He grew up.
Yeah.
I might
He
refollow
grew
him
up.
after this.
You know how many people hit me and say, "Yo, yo, used to give it up back on Twitter." I'm like, "Yeah, but
Yeah,
you know
you're
what?
crazy.
Well, for what?"
no.
Then you start to realize, like, I've had conversations with artists themselves that was like, "Yo, dog, like niggas was looking for you at one point."
It's an Ice story.
You don't even know that.
Let me take it from Ice. Ice is popular in this one spot. Ice is in this spot often. The niggas get word that Ice goes to this spot frequently. You know what now? They got vans riding by there like, yo,
Y'all know Ice?
Ice in there?
He in there right now?
He in there? Yo, that's my man. He in there?
Yeah.
And niggas was calling like, yo, such and such is out here asking if you coming tonight? Nah, I ain't coming there. Who asking? Oh, shit. That changes you.
Yeah.
That
You
changes
can
you.
bump into
But
people.
y'all are never faced with that. So y'all could keep this bullshit reporting because y'all never come eye to eye with that. And that's unfair.
What are you talking about? I've interviewed both sides of this whole gang war in Chicago, and they,
That's not
they
the
all
same.
That's
fucking-
not the same.
None of them
He-
think that I've
he
done
didn't
anything
catch
inappropriate with
none
these
of that.
interviews.
Yeah, that's way over the head, bro.
Why? I'm face to face with the
Respectfully,
exact
man.
people
Come
that you're
on,
talking
Adam.
about,
And
and
you-
they don't feel like I'm doing anything
I know,
wrong.
JVP
because
an
Somehow a bunch of guys
apologize
in
right now.
redacted
Adam.
borough out here feel that I'm doing something way over the line, but they're not the ones who feel that way, right?
Yo, no, this is what happens.
And I'm outside.
You're objectively reporting, right? You're giving them an opportunity to get both of their sides out.
Trying to, yeah.
But in the same token, you are perpetuating this shit and you
Yes.
are instigating it.
Because
And
now
when these
once
black
he
boys
go up there,
fucking die,
once he go up there, the next one can't wait to get up there. Because now I
Exactly.
gotta respond to this
Exactly.
nigga.
Hey, this is where it gets
And the
really
fact that
ill.
you giving me the platform to respond to
Hey,
him, I'm not mad at
This
you.
is where it get really ill. Now he's so up that I just hired more black people to do this. I don't even have to do this. I'm gonna go golf.
I don't golf, but
I'm gonna go
BMX.
ride
No,
my BMX
I'm gonna go work
dirt
on my
bike.
next. I'm
There
gonna
you
go work
Good
on
shit.
my next $100 million
There
venture,
you
my
go.
next $300 venture, $300 million venture, and at 50, he's 38 now. At 50, I'll be a fucking mogul in media off of this nigga shit.
Come on, Adam.
Come on, man.
Come
Stop,
on, Adam.
yo. Stop.
Come on.
I never heard such cynicism in my life that I'm making content for hip hop fans. You guys know that conflict is the fucking heart
I don't
of
know
hip
that.
hop
I don't know
content.
that. I don't know that.
It's
I
not
don't
true.
know that.
Raps
All right.
better.
That's not
Who's
true.
cool?
You
hear him?
That's
You fucking
not
know it.
true,
And I'm doing
dog.
content covering the shit that people want to hear
Hey,
about.
yo. Hey, Parks.
And you're acting like it's
Flip
fucking
it.
devilish.
Hey, Parks.
And you know I'm right. And he walks away.
I love you, dog.
Yaku.
I love
really
you,
leaving?
dog. I love you, dog. I ain't gonna hold you. I love you, dog.
Right.
Yo, come on.
It's just us
That's
now?
not true.
Yeah, that's not
you
true,
are
bro.
saying the heart of hip hop is conflict? Abso-fucking-lutely. That's
same
what
way-
y'all selling
all
it as.
of the most memorable shit from our life watching hip hop and observing it was dudes getting into it with each other because it's
What?
a confrontational
Your
art
view
form
of-
in which being the best is prized above everything else. So of course there's conversations to be had about who dissed each other in songs, who's doper, who
They are
fucking
conversations.
said, you know.
They are no listen.
Now, does
Yeah.
that do those sometimes descend to the point where these
Competition
guys end up getting
Yo,
into
ain't
physical
conflict.
confrontations? Yes, of course.
Competition is not conflict.
men Men thrive on competition.
Yes, it is.
Look, no, it's not.
No, it's
Men
not.
thrive on competition. That's why sports is so big, because we thrive on
If
competition.
two rappers are beefing about who is the better rapper, that's still conflict.
Why they gotta be beefing?
And
No,
it's still interesting.
Why they gotta be beefing?
conflict.
Well,
It's
okay, but I'm
competition.
saying beefing in the sense of like they're arguing over who has the better bars. Because
Okay, now
that's
these
maybe like
niggas
more
is-
relatable
but see, here's
if we're
the
talking
difference.
about like early 90s hip hop.
Here's the difference. We talking about today. They not arguing over who's the better rapper. It's you killed my cousin.
Right.
No, my brother.
Me and my brother. And now I'm coming for you and your people.
And your
But we
whole
rapping.
family.
Right.
These
Dog.
are not. See, here's the thing that everybody forgets.
A boy mother got
These
murdered
are
last
not
week.
rappers talking about street shit. These are street niggas that just so happen to rap.
Yes, because they saw a financial come up
Yes.
in the rap.
They see a way out.
boy's mother just got murdered at her son's gravesite on the anniversary.
Of his
She was
death.
visiting her fucking son. And you will be maybe the guy that'll go interview that shit and put it on your screen and make fucking money.
See,
That's
now,
not
now we
yo.
know you're struggling because you're making up scenarios that are not real that I haven't even done and saying
I
you
didn't
would
say
probably
you-
do that.
I didn't say you did
No,
it.
I would not do that.
He's saying it wouldn't be off
Obviously,
brand for
I
you
Why?
to do it.
Why
That's
wouldn't
what
you
he
do
said.
it?
To interview a random dude whose mom got killed at their
No,
grave.
no. I didn't-
Stick to things that I have actually done or at least
Listen.
come close to doing before you try to throw some shit on me that's
FBG
totally made up.
Look, FBG Cash reacts to FBG Duck's mom saying his friends didn't
So let
keep
me
it
explain
real.
this to you guys since you apparently think it's something other than what it is. FBG's Duck's mother became a YouTuber after his passing because she wanted to continue to spread his message, whatever. She wanted to be able to answer to the people who are criticizing him. Sometimes she might be a little extra with it. People criticize her. I think for the most part, though, I respect the fact that she's getting in there and actually speaking about how fucked up all this violence is. She at one point said all of FBG Duck's friends didn't do shit for him or didn't keep it real. And FBG Cash was like the first person that comes to people's mind, like who she's talking about. So me as a rap fan, I wanted to know how he felt about it. And to his credit, he was very polite about it. Obviously, it would be very gross to say anything negative about somebody's mom who passed away. He kept it very civil, even though I kind of got the clue that maybe, he felt some type of way that he wasn't saying. I felt like it was an important conversation to have, so we clipped it. I think it was meaningful for some percentage of people.
Let me ask you a quick question.
That's your defense. For everything,
FBG
too.
Cash is a rapper, correct?
Was a rapper.
Well,
Rest in
yes.
peace,
Rest
He
in
passed away?
Yes. So look.
And
Ta-da!
hold on. You're trying to
Hold
convince me that this is my fault.
No,
did
I'm
not
not
say
saying
that at all.
I'm not
Okay.
saying. Hold on.
Hold on.
Is it possible to have an interview with him just about rap without bringing up Duck's mom or any of that?
Is it possible?
Yes.
Sure. Would it be optimal? No. Of course, you want to ask him about all the interesting stuff or the stuff that had already been
For monetization.
stuff that
For
has been
monetization.
viral. About,
Yo.
why do you have to go monetization?
Because
the
that's what
audience
it's
wants to
for.
see it. I run a business that is about making the content that my audience wants to see and that I think that they'll be interested in. It had been viral. His mom saying this about his friend. Of course, I want to ask him about it.
You run a business that you said your audience wants to see certain shit, which means in business, everybody's in business to turn a profit. That is
I'm in business to
Every
also
business.
entertain these subscribers that I've acquired over the years because I think it's
Would
important.
you do it for free?
No, time
Would you
out.
do it for free?
100%.
No, you wouldn't.
Yes, I
but let me tell you why.
You would do it for free?
If they turned off the YouTube ads, I would still keep
You
doing
can turn
it.
off the monetization. Would you do it?
No, because that would make your videos not spread. The algorithm doesn't recognize
wanna put it
content
out,
when
though.
it's not
So
monetized.
listen. No. Every business, my business, your business, Joe's business, every person that goes into business,
We all got to pay the bills.
you have a business. If you look up the definition of business, it is to become profitable. That is the definition of business, right? Cool. So for you to keep saying, yo, I have an audience that wants to see X, Y, and Z, means that you built your business platform off of niggerosity and Black Death. Your audience is now based on that. And you are feeding them this negative shit about young black boys dying.
You got my nigga Trim.
And you are talking about, yo, me and my wife now are looking at a $200,000 wedding when these black parents can't fucking bury their kids. Come on, dog. Stop.
I respect the tenacity with which you're trying to put this narrative
I'm trying
on.
on my speaking facts. Those are facts,
No, it's
Adam.
there, Adam.
Those are facts, bro.
Come on, hey, look in the camera and say, hey, these dudes got a point.
No. I don't
I'm trying to monetize off all this shit. Just saying.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at that.
By making YouTube videos, they're monetized
This is how
by
I get
default,
successful.
right? That's just,
And then you
that's just
say, yo, I'm a
reality.
multimillionaire, 10
All
grand
money
and
ain't
shit.
good money.
But I got
So
300 of these.
When a
3,
rapper
4,
dies and you
500
have a
of these.
conversation about him on the podcast, do you turn the ads off?
I don't have
Thank
it.
What the heck?
We don't have
I don't have
conversations
You have
about
YouTube
dead
ads
rappers.
the same way I
Hey,
am.
hold on.
and that's when I put my
You-
balls
how
on
do
the
you not have
table.
ads? You put
I
up
don't.
to YouTube. You're making money off YouTube the same way I am.
AdSense? That's what you're talking about? You know what you're doing.
What?
Don't make me expose the difference in what you're doing and what I'm doing. It's not the same. So we don't have to get
What's
into
the
this
difference?
pod fucking
No, but you'll have a
hierarchy
conversation about somebody who
Yo,
passed
you know what
away,
happens
right?
when people pass?
rest in
Let's tell them.
peace. Our conversation is rest in peace.
As
Hold
a
up.
group, let's tell them
Our
what happens
conversation
when
is rest in
somebody
peace.
passes.
But we're going to talk about it
And we-
possibly in more depth, but it's still, we're talking about it. You guys
Stop.
talk about
Stop.
it.
And
And you
celebrate
put
it.
ads on it. You do the exact same thing I do.
Erickson, pan and zoom in on him.
That's not what we do.
Zoom in on
That's
him.
not true. That's not
Zoom
true.
in on him.
And somebody
are those
dies,
veneers?
we don't.
Those veneers?
No.
All right, I gotta check. Show this nigga
Stop
fucking
doing
veneers, yo. While he fucking tries to
He came
wiggle
in
out
with
of this
Are
shit.
those veneers?
Yeah, top and
Somebody was
bottom,
just talking
all
about
of them,
that,
every one of them, all this whole and this.
Somebody just told me, like, Joe looks a lot better since he got those teeth in. I'm like, he got teeth in?
Yeah, every last second. Then just told me not to tell the price to the peasants. I can't, but the whole.
Yo, chill. Don't get it.
Yeah,
Yo,
Consultation.
chill out.
Chill out.
What I'm saying is this:
I don't want that one again.
when somebody passes away here, we send our condolences to their families,
Fans.
their
Loved
fans,
ones.
and we
Friends.
keep it pushing and play a sad song. We talk about how fucked up it is that these young kids are dying.
Yeah.
That's our stance. Our stance ain't, yo, let's go interview the cousin of the shooter.
Wait, and then wait. And then
I
we
didn't, though.
Wait,
He
no,
was a
hold on.
popular rapper.
Adam,
I
let me
interviewed
talk.
a popular rapper
Adam, let me jump
and
in.
asked him about the shit other people
Let
were
me jump
saying
in.
about him in the media.
Ish. And then we leave it. Adam, hey, let me give you a little tidbit.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know who killed these niggas.
No, look. Read the next one. PGF Nook calls Little J gay, and this is FBG Duck from Beyond the Grave.
Adam
was a
22.
month
Adam
ago.
22.
That happened.
Adam 22.
Which
no
means
jumper
you are
BMX.
monetizing Black Death.
Adam,
Come on, dog.
Come
You
always
on,
have to go to
come on,
monetizing.
bud.
We're
Because
making
you're-
video content that our audience wants to see about shit that the rappers that we cover
I know.
are going through and
You
talking
are
about.
turning a
The
profit
money
off
is
of
so irrelevant.
It's not irrelevant, or you wouldn't be
Do
doing
this
it.
for money.
You're lying.
I got more than
Adam.
enough money.
Then
I
why
know
you
that
ain't
you
talking
made
to
off
your-
of Black
Hey,
Death. Why do I care about some fucking video with 85,000 views?
Because your fucking BMX bikers ain't get it
No,
done,
time
nigga.
out. No, because,
Where the fuck is the bikers
Because
at?
85,000 can turn into 1 million.
Where's your little huffy niggas?
No, stop, yo.
I
85,000.
assure you that a news video that has 85,000 in its first month is not going to go to 1 million.
All right, could go to 500,000 over a year.
It gets all the views in like the first day.
You know which ones will go to 1 million?
What?
Meet Young Dolph's killer.
Thank you.
That one.
All right, so listen, off $1 million views, is a monetary value attached to that. Every million views.
Sure, yeah.
There's a monetary value attached to that. Because you keep minimalizing it, saying, I don't need 10 grand, I don't need 10 grand, I don't need 10 grand. But 10 grand exponentially turns into millions of fucking dollars.
I'm just saying, I'm much more concerned.
He ain't stayed with his biker dudes
giving
trying
the
to get $1 million.
audience what they want and talking about the stuff that they want to hear about.
Why? Because you love your audience, or because that's how you make your money?
The reason why I have a business, the whole reason why I'm sitting here is
But
because
you had a business. It was to come up, and we didn't do that, and your business model shifted. Why did it shift?
because it was
Because we
more
started-
monetary.
This was more
started-
profitable.
You got rich doing
I started a media company
this.
that primarily covers hip
You
hop.
got, say it with us in unison.
say it.
I got rich doing this. I got rich doing this. I got rich doing this. Just spill the fucking beans.
Yeah,
I think
yo.
you think you're making a better point than you actually are.
No, this
No.
point has been made. You gonna see it. We clipping this.
Yeah, we gonna show you.
Hey, you ain't gotta listen to us. We clipping this.
No, I like
we gonna
this.
put this out to
This is
our
good.
audience.
Yeah, no.
Our audience gonna
This
see
is
that.
good. This
They
is
gonna
good.
tell you what they think.
Come on.
Whoa.
Come on, yo. And again, I'm the guy that be
Yo,
for the bread.
hey, no,
This
no,
ain't a good way to make
Ish.
bread. All money ain't good.
Let me tell you, I know everything he's sitting here saying is a lie.
What?
He ain't not lying.
Lie.
He not
What a
lying.
bold
Let me tell you.
statement.
Let me.
He ain't at you.
He not lying.
Well, I have not lied
He
about
ain't lying.
anything
I don't think he lying.
in the
Not
course
lying.
of this
He
conversation.
not lying. He's happened.
No,
He's
no,
Savion
no.
Glover. And Savion Glover's a black famous tap dancer.
Tell him. When he dies, you'll kill the tap dance community. Yeah, you'll kill the tap dance community when he goes. This is how I know he lying. Adam 22, who's in New York for his biker committee, the biker meetup at the Jacob Javits or wherever the fuck this shit is at. I don't know where you fucking weirdos hang out at. But for
Shout out to the bikers.
listen, they shouting niggas out right now.
I had a nice little GT
I went
back
outside, and Adam got the 6'9" licensed gun carrier nigga with him.
Uh-huh.
Why?
Because I'm moving smart. I've seen a lot of bad shit happen to a lot of people in similar positions to me, and I don't want my kid to grow
Like
up
what?
without a dad.
What bad is happening with somebody in a similar position as you? Let me hear.
Well, I mean, all the rappers are kind of in
You not a
similar
rapper?
positions.
Not a rapper, no.
I'm a celebrity in the hip hop space.
Yo,
I'm
we
not
outta
actually
here.
rapping.
Oh shit!
I love how you
This
act like
nigga-
that's a gotcha.
You're not a rapper.
I don't need to be a rapper.
You're
to be
not
in the,
comparable
You're not a
to-
rapper. You're in a
I
famous
rapped for
celebrity.
20 years.
And
You was
still-
on a fucking BMX bike somewhere. Shut the fuck
Why are you
up.
acting like this is a gotcha?
Adam.
It is.
He don't walk around with security in his arm.
Yes, he does. I saw that clip
No,
of
he
you
does
cheating.
not.
No, I do not.
Joey
No,
Badass
I'm
with a
tougher than
security
you.
guard following you.
I'm tougher than you.
You got a security guard to cheat.
Joey
No.
Badass just walked through here and he ain't have no fucking security.
Why
You
does
seen him?
Adam 22
You saw
have
him,
a
right?
6'9" nigga with a licensed gun on him in New York? You know
Let me
why?
explain this to
Because
you.
you live in foul.
Because I can't carry a gun legally in New York City, but I can
Why
in
do you
Los
need
Angeles.
one?
Because I want to protect myself.
From what? From
How
what? and
tall
who?
are you? You taller
From
than
what
me.
and who?
I live in LA. We don't.
But
fist
you
fight.
in New York.
I'm asking you how tall you are.
Oh, 6'3".
How much you
How much you weigh?
230 something.
240, 235.
Yeah.
You can't protect yourself?
I mean, not with my hands, no. I'm not gonna box a chopper, no.
Erickson.
I'm not a fucking kickboxer,
Erickson,
no.
hey Rob, timestamp this for me, Rob.
back room, yo.
Everybody in the back, just give me the timestamps from all of it. Holy shit! Good boy, Adam.
Yo, just put
Yeah, give me your
Zach
contemporary.
TV.
Who?
Zach TV, the most prolific Chicago rap interview ever. He got sprayed up. They took him out.
Rest in peace.
Rest in
Zach
peace.
TV.
I'm not familiar with that.
Yeah. No, he's black.
Zach TV.
Yeah, I can't believe you don't know him. He was.
Well, you didn't
was.
clip that one up.
That was a long time ago. I mean, we
that was
might
a
have
while
done videos about it.
You
I don't
didn't.
know.
Yeah, I didn't see the clips on that one.
Well, you didn't search Zach TV No Jumper, but I don't think we talked about it at the time. That was when I was like just doing interviews.
Ah, well, profitable yet.
What's your favorite album, man?
That's how we're switching it up. I was thinking about that. What if they asked me my top 5?
What's your favorite album?
How
Death
am I
of
gonna
these
get
niggas.
out of it?
Death of all these niggas.
Death is certain.
Hey, who dying next? Come on. Death is certain. Ready to die. No.
I love my new Grim Reaper persona you've decided to give me.
Adam, these are questions I have been dying to ask
For
you.
real?
Honestly.
Damn, that keeps you up at night?
No. No. But these are questions I've been dying to ask you.
We got any more waters?
Yeah, we got a fridge full of waters.
Kind of ran through the Essentia.
I know. Thirsty. Parched. That black
The
death.
yellow will do that.
That black death. It'll get
It'll
you
leave you
parched.
parched, man.
Hey, give him some water, man.
Thank you.
Get him 2 waters, man.
You're going to be here a while.
Oh, man. So your favorite album?
I'm pouring up.
He got 3 weight drinking.
We're doing it.
Mix some waters.
We're pouring up. I know you've seen rappers do this.
Yo, our
he
bottle
said
wasn't
people.
good enough.
He said people in.
Trust our bottles.
He said people in the same space that they went to the rap. These niggas are crazy.
Wait, what?
No, watch it back.
What part?
All of it.
You said Corey asked you what one of your
Oh
contemporaries
shit.
has been killed, and you name one guy.
Right.
And he didn't
Zach
clip
TV
it.
seems like a
And he ain't clip it.
Cool, but then you said that you're walking around similar to a rapper. How many rappers have been killed out in the streets in the last 3 years? If you had to guess.
A fuckload, 100, I don't know.
So how the fuck do you compare yourself and what you do to them? If you can name only one black other dude in your space that got murdered, but you could tell me in the
I
last.
shouldn't be
I would
concerned
love
with
to
my
finish
own
my
security
sentence.
because maybe a rapper is in more danger?
You said you're in danger, equivalent at the same level as the rappers.
I wouldn't say it's necessarily exactly the same, but I'm certainly in a similar
It's not even close.
situation.
not even close.
But I like how that therefore means that I shouldn't carry a gun
No.
or I shouldn't have security or I shouldn't protect myself.
That is not what we said.
That's not what
Nobody
That's
said.
exactly what you're
Nobody
saying.
said
That's
that you
not
should
what
not
I'm
do
saying.
that.
Then what's
You
the
are-
problem? That I
you are
compared
making-
myself to someone
Yes.
else?
You are
I'm
making
not
up-
saying when I compare myself that I am in the exact same situation. That's why it's a comparison.
I know.
I'm in a situation that has some similarities.
It doesn't.
Yes, it does.
You
I
are-
am a celebrity within the hip hop space, just like anybody. anybody here realistically.
You are.
And so I take my security and my safety very seriously.
As
A
you
lot
should.
of the rappers that we're talking about are people who would still be with us if they had taken their security a bit more seriously.
True.
I don't want to go out the same way.
All right, so you are saying that you're a celebrity in the hip hop space.
Well, unfortunately, but yeah.
Which that's not unfortunate because you made millions of dollars doing it.
Stuff
It's not
comes with it,
unfortunate.
yeah.
You've made millions of dollars doing it. It's
And
not.
I
it's
got
no-
into that position by making the content that I wanted to make, and
you-
I became a millionaire. But it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna get rich off doing this content.
Nobody
I did
said
this
that at
shit
all.
For so long,
Nobody.
making so little, cranking out interviews, doing 5 fucking interviews a week, making nothing.
What's the
making
last song
jack
you listened
shit.
to before you got here?
I think we listened to like the first 5 songs of the PGF Nook album that came out a couple weeks ago.
What's on the album cover?
What's on the album cover? I think it might be a picture of his face, something along those lines. That was my first time listening to it. So.
What I'm saying is this: you are recognizing by you having a big armed security guard that there's danger in hip hop.
Yes.
You are clearly,
Today.
consciously
Not just in hip hop,
accepting that.
but with what you are putting into the universe, I may need protection.
That is it.
Well,
That is
I
it.
may need to be protected. Somebody
That's not true.
somewhere.
Lear
might-
Cohen is in the hip hop space, and Lear Cohen is 10 times more successful than fucking Adam 22.
A million times
He's
more
not
successful
walking
than all of
around
us.
New York City with a fucking 6'9" arm guard.
kill shot. I've spent some time with Leroy Cohen's son, and I've spent some time in the presence of Leroy Cohen. I've absolutely seen him with security. Fucking
In certain events.
Who's the dude from 10K Projects? Elliot. I go to his office. Had a meeting with him a couple
Great.
years ago. Boom, he's got a security guard, armed giant dude sitting outside his office.
Hey, check this out. Andre
They're
3000
way
is
lower
a huge
profile than
rapper
me.
in hip hop, presence, everything. You can see him sitting outside New York playing a fucking flute by himself.
Wait, what?
I said Andre 3000, rapper, celebrity,
Diamond.
actor,
Multi-diamond.
every accolade you can imagine is
just
not
plays
walking
flute.
around with
It's just his flute.
security with
And
a
that's
gun.
cool. And I
Outside
respect
playing
that
the
a
gun.
lot.
In New York.
I said
In
he
New
outside
York.
playing the flute by
Outside playing the flute by himself.
I got a picture
can-
of Frank Ocean at the coffee shop on a bicycle, just chilling. So my cousin called him. Hey, look at this nigga. No security, no firearm.
To be fair, I'm walking around LA. I stayed in Manhattan a couple of months ago, and I'm walking around Central Park and doing God knows what with my family. No security, not worried about it. I'm on this BMX trip, and we're literally riding around in all of the hoods in Brooklyn and Queens. So I figured a security guard would
More exploitation. More exploitation.
exploiting the handrails of Brooklyn.
Yeah. Yes. The more of it.
Grind down that rail and exploit the shit out of it.
What is your favorite album? We trying to find out.
Oh, it's just the most boring conversation because it's like it's a million albums that you already fucking love, dude. Like,
What's your 5?
I'm gonna say like albums that I go back to the most in hip hop today. I'm gonna
Death
say
Certificate.
probably Illmatic is like number 1.
Gotcha.
Maybe The Blueprint would be number 2. Although all those early J albums I kind of just periodically go back to. I could say the same thing about like all the early Mobb Deep albums. Cam, I just listen to like, you know, if I'm gonna go back to some classic shit, Cam has like a couple of albums that I could still just listen to the whole way through that I love. You know, there's a bunch of different stuff and different vibes. You know, now that I got a kid, for some reason, there's a lot more De La Soul and a Tribe Called Quest. I feel like that's like a good vibe for a kid, a little bit more playful.
Let me ask you a question.
You know, all the classics from that
me-
time period.
I'm glad you said that because you're a part of hip hop culture.
Right.
When is the last time that you've interviewed? I don't know. I'm asking genuinely. A De La Soul, a
Nas.
Nas, Pasta Noose, any of those guys.
Well, I had the game on. I don't know. Who's
No. The game is not in that.
You want me to scroll through my?
The game is not in that cloth.
because he's not old enough.
No,
so I got
No,
to go.
No, it's not that. It's not about
an
his age.
age thing,
It's
Mr.
not,
22.
and he knows that too. It's not
What,
his
what?
age.
I
Wait,
told you
what
he
is
plays
it?
convenient
Yeah,
dumb.
it's not about his age. You said you go back to Nas, you go back to
Mobb
De La
Deep.
Soul,
How
you
do
go back to these
probably got
guys.
Alec on the phone.
I would like to.
Black
interview them.
Thought is out
Black
there.
Dog, he just put out a great
You
album.
think I'd be turning down an interview with them? No, I
No,
would
but
love
you
to make
probably
that
wouldn't
happen,
reach
yeah.
out for one either.
Of course I would. How the fuck do you reach out to Nas? I mean,
Nas,
I remember I was at a Cameron concert, lurking around in bag. Ben Baller introduced me to Cameron. Yo, this is the illest interview. You got to do one with him. Somehow I still have had a hard time converting that to me actually interviewing him, but you know,
So Havoc,
I would love to do that. That would be like the ultimate.
De La Soul.
That would be incredible. I would love to do that.
So why your team reached out to them?
Well, we interview a lot of like younger rappers and
I
stuff.
bet you
but no,
fucking
for
do.
sure, I would like
I
to.
bet you fucking do. You just stepped in the shit
I
that
love
I
how
put right
you're
there for
acting
you.
like me
I
getting a
bet
De
you
La
do.
Soul interview
I bet
should be
you-
the easiest thing in the world.
I'm sure it's about as easy as you.
No, it
getting-
would be easy. Them niggas was just fighting for their masters,
Yeah, all of
publishing.
that.
They was
got
trying to be
mad shit
everywhere.
to say.
Honestly,
They got mad shit to say.
That's one that I've never even thought
I know,
about.
because your
I ain't seen you
audience.
clip shit up for that.
because your audience.
You are right.
Your
that-
audience.
My audience wouldn't care that.
I bet.
Like,
know
I
why?
remember-
Because you know how to monetize black fucking death as opposed to hip hop.
Where
You're
are
tripping.
your BMX niggas, yo?
I have I think I have the best Ghostface interview on YouTube. Ghostface is one of my favorite rappers of all time. There's not like a lot of good interviews with him, so I'm kind of, it's like his best interview because there's not a lot of other real interviews out there. I think he did like 150K still to this day. It was like 4 or 5 years ago. So yes, like I do notice that on YouTube in particular, the audience does it. Like I interviewed two.
The audience what?
They don't gravitate.
They gravitate
towards the, older
toward the
rappers who have already-
niggerosity.
Well, it did better than I thought. 412 right there. All right.
4 years ago.
4 years ago. But I find that the
Why
audience.
is that enough? Not enough for you to conduct business with humanists?
Well, you don't get a chance to interview Ghostface every day, right?
True.
You know,
But there's a
that's
whole
legend.
bunch of
Tell
other
him.
legacy acts.
Tell
Right.
that. Well, I'm not
No,
guest
and
based.
I love doing those kind of interviews.
No, I ain't
try
guest
to do
based.
that.
You could pull it from
Comma,
within.
but-
you could pull it from within. Something
but-
interesting could be about Adam 22, where you could grow your business and your company, expand the way you
I'm
want
not
to, instead of
talking
doing
about
it this
myself on
nasty
the
way.
podcast constantly.
No.
But you could.
You want to do
He
more?
don't
of it?
have
That's
to.
fine.
He don't
You wanna
have
do
to.
more
It's
of that?
enough hip hop artists that he can go find them and not be pushing the negative young deaf shit. It's more monetization and then it's more profitable to push those. You could go find
I
the
love how
Tyler.
you want to convince them so bad that I'm just ruthlessly
I
trying
know,
to make
I'm-
money.
dog.
These are the rappers I listen to and I'm interested in.
But
And I'm not, even if I wasn't interviewing them, I'd be watching Say Cheese interview clips with them. I'd be watching other people interview them. This is genuinely what I'm into. And the reason why I would ask a question like, why have you and so been dissing each other on songs is because I genuinely want to know, and I know for a fact that the audience
And you're
wants to hear
so
the answers.
interested that you didn't know what King Von's biggest album cover looked like.
Absolutely
That's
not his
one.
biggest album cover. It's a completely
biggest song.
irrelevant. No, it's a mixtape that came out before he was popular, for the record. But
That's the one that got him popular.
and you're accusing me of not knowing about King Von because I didn't notice that in the absolute top tiny fucking corner that it says us versus the ops and has a score. The weirdest gotcha I could
And
possibly
we also
imagine.
just asked you what was your tops that you listened to, and you didn't mention none of them niggas.
No, but those are all like of all time. Those are classic albums I go back to. I listen to mostly younger rappers, newer
and
rappers,
you're a
et cetera,
parent now,
yeah.
and you said that you listen to De La Soul and those guys. So I said, why didn't you interview them?
Well, because I would love to interview them, as I said, but then also on top of that, like I said that I listened to it around my kid because I feel like when you're around a kid, there's different energy. I play a lot of classic rock around her too.
Around the white kids.
You want to play friendly shit. Well, my kid is white and
I know.
Armenian, but I didn't really have the option of having a black kid. I don't think, but that would have been.
That's funny, but go
I
ahead.
didn't click that box
It's,
when we went to the fertility
applicable
clinic.
to
but-
listen to the more calmer, more shit around your kids.
So now you take his Black Trauma millions and go back and pump up his BMX fund.
No, but I've always BMX. I'm not making money off that. I make more money off porn and hip hop than BMX. I just love bike riding. I've been into it since I was 12.
I know. So you take this money that you've made from however you made it, and now you're back to your first love, where
To
you
your
didn't make a
passion.
dime.
No, these are all my passions. I love fucking hoes. I love making rap interviews. I love riding bikes. I love poker. A lot of different interests. Debating is a big passion.
My
of mine.
only
Here we
thing
are.
I'll say to you, and I'll get off this, is if you're a fan of these people, you wouldn't treat them that way.
I disagree.
You would try to find some other way.
But we do
would
talk
honor-
about a lot
you
of
would
that.
honor
promote
you would
them.
honor them
Yeah, like
differently.
to promote
you
them.
would highlight them differently,
do.
regard them differently. Like Nori Show, Drink Champs. You watch a lot of podcasts. He specifically says, "Yo, this platform only exists for me to give flowers to people. That is it. Nothing else. Your platform almost seems to do the exact opposite.
Oh, that's so
but
not true.
under the guise of fanfare. And I often tell these gentlemen, you're not a fan if you don't want the best for this person.
I don't think
and how you
you're
run
not
your,
a fan if you don't want to ask the people the most interesting things that you can ask.
Oh, that's not a fan.
No, that to me that's my objective, is to make the most interesting interview that touches on the most things
Even
that
if
people
it's
care
negative.
about.
Even if it's negative.
Of course, yeah.
That's horrible, bro.
No, it's not. You guys all do
Ladies
content
and
about
gentlemen.
negativity all the time. And
do.
the fact that you think that that's a gotcha is crazy.
Sometimes sometimes we do.
Yeah,
but when it's leading to people dying or instigating people's deaths, no, we do not.
Yeah, we don't.
How
do
did that happen?
We don't do that.
What are you
We don't do that
referring
here,
to?
Adam.
All right, if Adam and Parks have a fight,
Right.
and I interview Parks, and Parks like, yo, fuck that bitch ass nigga, I'm a da-da-da-da-da. And I say, all right, cool, I'm
I don't
objective.
think I'd use that language.
You get what I'm saying? And then now I go and I interview Adam. And Adam says, yo, fuck him. This is what he did. And yo, this is why I punched him in the fucking face. Blah, 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 blah. I am sitting there objectively because I have an audience that wants to hear Parks' side and I have an audience that wants to hear Adam's side. But now I'm pushing the buttons of both of them. And next time they see each other, one of them could end up dead. You are saying that, yo, I have an audience that wants to hear both of their sides, and that's why I'm doing it, because I owe it to my audience.
That's mine and Ransom's problem with Vlad TV.
Right. The fact that you're able to find an ulterior
Bro,
motive
you are not
in me
addressing
literally
anything. You are skipping.
If me and Parks had a fight, if me and Parks got into a violent altercation, I would absolutely expect you guys to talk about it on this podcast, obviously, because it's interesting, it's dramatic.
I'll give you an example.
And I would 100% expect me to go on my weekly podcast on Tuesdays and have my staff or my co-host say,
no, I'm saying
who's this guy that you're going to fight with?
You aren't a shooter, and Parks is not a shooter, and you have a platform. I'm talking about people
I have
that...
not shot, for the record.
I said you are not a shooter.
Okay.
Parks is not a shooter. So you are living in environments that are not detrimental to your literal survival.
I'm gonna give you an example. I'll give you an example, and it's
I almost thought we were done.
It's kind of recent.
Right.
Y'all can bleep the name if y'all need to. Y'all can bleep the name.
I feel great about this.
Y'all back there can bleep the name.
You're trying to get this out because
I think we're out of here.
I don't think that you've really made the point that you think.
No, listen. Here's an example. Hold on, Joe.
We are
Hold on, Joe.
moon with this.
Freddie Gibbs got into recent incidents.
Right.
We came in here and you can talk about shit without having to talk about it in a way where these are huge platforms here.
Right.
Things we say on it just by reporting it.
It feels like you guys haven't watched my content and you're assuming that I'm literally just interviewing people and pushing them to beef with each other.
I haven't watched the
you
content.
all haven't seen my content. I love that you just admitted that. Because the reality is I'm having conversations with them never to like instigate the beef. I'm not pushing them to make it worse.
Hold on.
I'm trying to like get to the root of it and trying to push past that.
Why do you care what the root of it is?
Because I like their
music. You're not going to solve it.
Yeah, you're not solving
it. Both sides. I'm friends with the BDs and the GDs in Chicago.
You
think I want them to kill each other?
You're not going to solve it, Adam.
I'm not okay. I don't think I'm
if
going to
I want to
solve
get
it.
to the root of a problem,
Another young brother hit.
Right?
I better go over my man's
There
crib
we
and get
go.
the pump.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Shooting brothers is like playing baseball, and they're never in a slump. I guess when they
This is
shoot
an
up
outro,
a
like,
it's a grand
play
slam.
people off?
When it's
No.
This is the first.
No, we play people off.
Like you're getting to the root of why this dude killed this dude's nephew and this dude's sister. Come on, you don't give a fuck
You haven't
about
seen my content, so you're just making up
You just said
scenarios.
that. No, you said that.
No.
Like FBG get killed.
FBG got killed due to some game banging shit, sure, but King Von got killed off a completely different rapper
You said
beef, whatever.
FBG Duck got killed from your understanding from nothing that came from gangbanging. He got shot.
That's not what I said.
That is what
He got
you
killed.
just said that.
You just said that.
You literally just said that.
He got killed over gang banging
You did not
shit,
say that.
literally.
That's not what you said.
Push pause and go rewind.
Okay, well,
Because I want to hear you be
if
accountable.
that's actually
for
what I
something.
said, I'm changing the record because
All right, cool.
that's
There you
not
go.
true.
Change the record.
He got killed outside a Louis Vuitton store by a
Exactly.
couple of different gang members. Yeah, of
Exactly.
course, yeah.
Broad
That's what I was
fucking
about to
daylight.
tell you.
Damn.
I was about to tell you that.
Exactly my point. So which means that
Dogs.
when we sit down and interview these kids, we are instigating real life beef. This ain't
rap.
Nas and
This
Jay-Z
ain't rap.
where nobody gonna get hit.
This is
We
not
are
rap.
instigating real life beef of black boys. This ain't Nas. This ain't Jay-Z. This ain't when
Jada Kiss, Beanie Siegel. It's not that.
Yo, this is real life shit, and you know that because you knee deep in it.
I think the Beanie Siegel and Jadakiss shit could have easily became
It
real
could've.
life shit, right? I'm sure there was shit
Did it?
going on
If there
in the
was a
background,
fucking
right?
Adam 22 around at the time.
Okay,
No,
That's what we-
and no, the powers that be would have never let
Exactly.
that get there.
Let me just throw
Exactly.
something out there to kind of draw attention to how absurd what you're saying is that you think that rappers should be able to constantly diss each other in music and that then when interviewers interview them, they should completely ignore the contents of their music.
Yes, if they listen, I'm gonna answer you.
He's answering you.
I'm gonna answer you. Yes, if you know that this interview could potentially lead to one of these boys
More bloodshed.
dying.
More bloodshed. Good.
Potentially. If you have an inkling that you think that these motherfuckers could die from what I interview these boys about, you motherfucking right. You owe it to humanity and hip-hop.
That pressure gets put on me and not them for mentioning their 5 million times in their songs.
Yes. You're an accomplice.
I think you should put more of the attention on the rappers who are actually saying the shit and less on the podcasters who ask them about their lyrics.
No, you are an accomplice. You're an accomplice.
You are a co-conspirator.
Yes.
I am a media... I run a media company and I interview...
You're a BMXer.
No, that's one of my passions.
That's one of them. No,
sure.
you are a journalist.
But you ain't stay there.
You play tennis, right? You're not a tennis player?
I don't play tennis.
What if you did?
No.
Then I'm the best tennis player.
No, if he had a career in tennis at one point, then he would be a tennis player.
What the fuck are you talking about?
But I mean, I love how you think that saying you ride a BMX bike is like...
No, you had a career of it.
It does relate to me.
I'm riding bikes.
So you are a BMX guy. It's not a slight. It's not a slight. What I'm saying is this. You are a journalist. Do you believe that journalists have some moral obligation? Yes or no?
Yes.
Cool. Stay there. You are now saying that because these black boys are rapping about killing each other, you have no moral obligation. They do.
Yeah.
No, I think I'm... Yeah, well, I would say that they certainly have more of a moral obligation.
Talking about you.
You know, this is the thing that always pisses me off when people hate on the war in Chirac, is that I think...
Bro,
that
you are deflecting.
Let me get this off.
Please answer my question, please.
I want to talk about this instead. So
I know.
I think that...
I know. Now we can leave.
No. Because
now we can leave.
You're digging into it too deep. This is Let me just say this before we dip. What Akademiks did with the war in Chirac was necessary because journalists in Chicago weren't doing their jobs. This is the stuff that they should have been reporting on.
So who?
Somebody had to do it because
no one had to do it.
Weren't covering this shit that people want to know about.
No, not everybody wants to know about.
Yes, there's clearly a huge audience for it.
I know, and we are. Some of these people never been off the porch in their fucking life, and they living through these boys killing each other.
In order for you to make this argument, you basically have to call all rappers dumb and say that they're not responsible for their own actions, and I don't think that that's really that convincing.
I asked Adam his responsibility, and you've yet to fucking answer. You switched and pivoted to Chicago journalism. You switched and pivoted to Chicago journalism. Right. I said, do journalists have a moral obligation? Your answer was yes.
Make the point that I think what I'm doing is not just making money or getting views. I think it's important.
Adam, I asked you, do journalists have a moral obligation? Your answer was yes.
Yes.
And I said,
to tell the truth, to report on things that should be known.
So what is their moral obligation?
To tell the truth and to report on things that they consider, that they think should be
Who are
part
you to
of the
decide
public
that
record.
Who are you to decide that should be known?
And should not be told.
Street shit should stay in the streets.
If somebody knew something about your family and they broadcasted it to the world, they should, this is something that should be known.
That's called journalism.
I know. And there's a moral obligation.
Why you don't journalism some of your shit that's been reported?
No, I've talked about it at length plenty of times.
No, we'll pull it up.
What
do I search?
Yeah.
No, I don't watch Vlad, nigga. That's your man.
People ask me about it. You want to ask me about it? I'll talk about it. I don't mind at all.
I don't. No, because we don't play that game.
I don't do that.
That's what we saying.
I don't do that.
I ask people the questions that I think people want to hear the answers to.
But you do that.
Yeah.
So why you don't do that with your shit?
I have. People ask me about it, and I answer.
What do I have to search to pull those clips up?
Adam 22 Vlad accusations.
No, not Vlad. On No Jumper.
Oh no, I mean,
I don't know
if I.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Are you gonna release this on YouTube?
No, I would
love to force you to release on YouTube.
I don't think you left me a choice.
Time out. But when you read the comments and they are anti-Adam, will you take and have balls enough to say, maybe I need to look into some of this shit that they're saying?
No, I mean, I'm listening to you guys. I'm always open to other perspectives, but clearly I've thought about this plenty
and landed at the wrong spot.
You haven't. This is my whole thing. This is what I've been doing for my whole life for like 7 years. I've thought about it.
You immediately said when Vlad released the Kevin Samuel shit, you thought instinctively in your gut that it was ugly, and you still followed his fucking lead.
And then I thought about it more, and my opinion changed because I thought because I realized what my
your real gut speaks volume.
What my job is in entertaining my audience.
Yeah, I know.
This mic's going flaccid, but
ain't the only thing going flaccid around here.
Your dick's not feeling too good?
Ladies and gentlemen out there, wherever this is released, just leave a comment on how you feel about things.
And all the people that watch my
Adam,
content just know that Joe doesn't think it should exist because it potentially could one day cause somebody to hurt somebody else.
Wait, stop that. Stop that. I don't feel that way. Don't make blanket statements.
That's what I'm getting.
I know you're not getting what you're supposed to get, but that part's been apparent. I don't have a problem with all no jumper content. I do not. So and I didn't say nothing.
But
there
you
that
really
would,
tried
that would
to
lend
attempt
someone
to
to think that.
characterize all my content as being about something that could only potentially be applied to like 1% of the content.
Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. This is why you'll never get what I'm saying. Because you keep talking about content, and I keep talking about you.
Or life.
I make content.
I'm not talking about content. No. I'm talking about.
I think you are.
I'm not.
You're literally like pulling up my videos and talking about my content.
That is our disconnect.
No, I think
you think this is a content conversation and it's not.
This conversation wouldn't even have went this far had you said, "I get your point."
Oh, I don't get your point. I don't think you're right.
We know,
and that's why the conversation went this far.
No, and I like hearing it and everything, but at the end of the day, I mean, I'm not going to stop asking the rappers that I cover about the most interesting things that I can ask them about.
And they're not going to stop dying.
You know, you mentioned Maxo Cream. I mean, Maxo Cream's somebody I've interviewed since the very beginning of my career. Had plenty of conversations with him. I know all kinds of shit about his Fed case, about his team getting caught with this and that in the mail, whatever. Interviewed him multiple times and even brought it up. And what's he do? He says a little something, swerves around it, doesn't want to say anything incriminating.
You don't think
so let me
ask
you a question.
Respect that,
let me ask you a question. Guess who didn't bring it up?
What?
We had him sitting right where you sitting.
Maxo Cream.
Mm-hmm. Right. We didn't bring it up at all.
Didn't touch it.
Because his life and what he's trying to do is more important than his fucking Fed case. And it's more important than his charges that can incriminate him.
That's a fan. That's someone who appreciates what he does and wants him to keep doing it. So we're not going to do it like that.
When people catch Fed cases, it's in the news, right?
Yes.
Because it's interesting.
It's not known to the masses.
It's
not known to millions of viewers. It's not known to millions of viewers. It's known to local people. It's not known to fucking masses. No, it's not. He's not fucking John Gotti or Pablo Escobar. He's a local kid. He's
Maxo Cream.
He's a local kid from Houston.
He's a well-known rapper. I know you guys.
He's not that well-known.
Fucking well-known.
He's not that well-known.
Stop it, Adam.
He's very well-known.
We're talking about fucking Jay-Z. He's not very well-known.
To you, he's a nobody. To me,
we didn't say it was a nobody either.
I'm saying he's very well-known to you for a reason outside of his music.
Yeah, because
that's what we keep saying to you about what you do with these rappers.
Cream. I've known Maxo Cream since the very beginning of my career. We have a good relationship. We got something I would call a friendship.
And you said you asked him about all the nigga shit, and he circumvented it.
Yeah, because he's smart and because he didn't want to say.
But if that's your dude, then what the fuck you asking about it for?
Answer it.
No, because if they think that they can, I mean, that's their responsibility.
You think the other people are dumb? You said Maxo Cream is smart, so he circumvented it. The boys from Chicago that didn't circumvent it are what?
No, because I think everybody that you're bringing up there. I mean, FBG Cash.
Ladies and gentlemen,
FBG Cash has done crazy shit. Did crazy shit in the streets and didn't talk about it. You've never watched my content, so you think that he was spilling his guts.
I didn't say that at all.
Shout out to Adam22 for taking the time out to visit with us. Round of applause from Parks or that. Shout out to No Jumper. Shout out to all your future success. Hopefully, how old are you?
38.
Hopefully, at a later year, something that we said here today will resonate with you. We are very clear that today it does not. But that don't mean at some point later it won't. So maybe, I don't know if it's comments, I don't know if it's time, whatever it is. I hope that as you continue to ascend, at some point, much like Ak, you'll understand what some of the people are saying.
Aren't you saying that Ak basically interviews the exact same way that I do? He asks these dudes about all the different shit they've been in. Oh, because I watch Akademiks podcast all the time, and he definitely does exactly what I'm saying.
Awesome. We're not saying the same things. And your understanding of what's being said is in the wrong place right now. So
Ak interviews a lot of the same people as me and asks them like the exact type of questions that I ask.
Show me what, and now you're deflecting.
This shit's on Spotify.
Awesome with your interviews. Show me who died and Act chopped up the old interview and put it out the second that they
Well,
died.
he doesn't do that. He doesn't re-up.
So then what are you talking about to me?
No, I'm talking about.
You're not talking about the same thing I'm
He
talking
interviews
about.
rappers.
So you're not talking
and he
about the
asks
same
them
thing.
about the same shit.
I'm talking about your behavior in death and how it translates.
You're definitely
throughout.
not going to convince me that's wrong. I think the radio station example is pretty it's hard to get past that. Like this is what media companies do. TV networks, you know. Like what happens if Joe Budden dies? Everybody is going to make content about you so that they can remember you.
Adam,
that's not
I'm
greedy.
on
That's
record.
not evil.
Adam, I'm on record saying that I'll be in heaven telling niggas like you to suck my dick for the behavior that you exhibit when we die. And not even when we die, but what you did when I was alive. Yo, this nigga beat up on some bitch.
Okay. Well,
that's what you did to
like
somebody you have
news.
a relationship with while you were alive. But it wasn't news. It was from 2005.
And I told you that I regret the way that went down.
Ladies and gentlemen, the amazing Adam 22 here. And
shout out to the whole JBP. Appreciate y'all.
Much love, luck, success, and hopefully a different business model with some of this stuff. Not all.
Mischaracterizing my business model.
Some of this stuff. I said some of this stuff.
Okay, fairer.
Moving forward. Round of applause, please, for Adam. Come on, give it up. Give it up. He stood here. He fought up against all of it with his cockamamie
old heads who want to tell us how it's supposed to be.
Cockamamie bullshit from this guy here. Cockamamie bullshit. But I do appreciate him sitting down. You and Vlad and Schultz got a little bit of that shit in y'all.
What?
Nothing.
Wanting to do interesting content?
Yes.
No, it's a disconnect.
Yes.
It's just a disconnect.
Yes.
And you just blame it on.
Shout out my boy.
You blame
Most
it on
influential hip hop interviewer of all time.
Rob, edit that. Rob, you edit all that.
New Joe Budden.